folks. Welcome into the biggest hockey show about a show in the world. Back from Thanksgiving break. Bob Gucci, Jay Swish. Monday night action, Bob. A manic Monday at the Wells Fargo Arena. Now the Xfinity Mobile Arena right on the chin of Broad Street in beautiful, scenic, historic downtown Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Bob, we're sitting in Northeast Scottsdale right now, calling this game on the couch for the people. Good to see your chin, my friend. How are we doing?
It's good to see your chin as well. Back from Thanksgiving break. My brother came into town. We ordered 7-Eleven. We're eating protein bars, Cheez-Its, and goldfish on the couch, watching YouTube the whole day. It was great. How about your holiday? How was it?
It was great, man. We had about 9 scheduled team dinners and or activities, and the dinners range from anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. But the best thing about Midwest people is the Midwest goodbye. It's where you go out to the parking lot, where you actually start off in front of the restaurant, then to the parking lot. And then when you get kicked out of there, then you have to say goodbye on the phone afterwards. So all in about 9 6-hour dinners. But we're here, man. We're doing well. It is Monday. It's the Monday before our tour starts. I can't wait for that. Joining us at the first intermission will be NHL legend and the host of Missing Curfew podcast, Shane O.B. O'Brien. But Bob, right now, we got a tilt between the eastern side of the state and the western side, the Keystone State rivalry, I call it. We're looking at Dan Muse, Rick Tocchet. Pittsburgh Penguins, my friend, they've been a pleasant surprise this year thus far.
It's great to see Pittsburgh Penguins doing well. I think both teams are exceeding expectations, both sitting nicely in the wild card position. And Pennsylvania, it's a hell of a state, and we're going to be in and around the area as we venture to Chicago, Milwaukee, Buffalo, and back into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, actually, for a Pittsburgh show on December 10th. And this broadcast is brought to you by Men's League Sweaters. But here's a 3-on-2.
Ooh, a chance for Reuter McGordy, who just got called up. Bad intel on dailyfaceoff.com. Not meaning to sewer these guys, but I believe you said they had him marked as hurt. I believe he is in tonight wearing the deuce. So check your stats over there, Johnny Lazaris, or whoever's plugging in that information. Bad intel, but nonetheless, folks, again, as Bob mentioned, we will be in Pittsburgh December the 10th. That is a week from Wednesday. Tickets available on homebuy3.shop, as well as for Chicago, Milwaukee, Buffalo. Go check those out if you're in any of those 4 locations. We're kicking off the Let It Snow tour in beautiful Chicago, Illinois at Zany's, 9:15 on Wednesday. So if you're in the area, go check it out. Again, if you're just syncing up with us, 17:49 remaining in the first period. Philadelphia, the home team, wearing the orange sweaters, and the Pittsburgh Penguins electing with the whites. Bob, it seems like these guys play every day this year because of the Olympic break and the Olympics going on. I haven't honestly been able to keep up with too much of the Pittsburgh game, but Sidney Crosby enjoying himself a nice start as a 38-year-old now is Sid. Wow. He's playing like it's 2011, my friend.
Speaking of keeping up, it looks like the arena for the Olympic hockey tournament is not going to be done. So they're actually going above and beyond the rules of code and working overtime. They've hired a lot of employees from Lowe's and Home Depot. They've shipped them over to Milan to try to get that arena built. They should have just called us.
They should have called us. I threw out a tweet saying there's 2 men for the job, but apparently they have found a couple members that have been deported due to ice, and they have now hired them for the Olympic arena to be finished. We will see on that front, folks, as we're going back to the game, as Jamie Drysdale gets that puck stripped from him by Kevin Hayes, the former Philadelphia Flyer, who famously signed a 7x7 ticket and then got traded away to Winnipeg. And he went to St. Louis on a rendezvous from there, as Erik Karlsson sends in a drive as Kevin Hayes grabs that puck and cycles it down low. And he is playing with Sidney Crosby tonight, as well as Brian Russ. So look for Kevin Hayes to maybe get his season kick-started. It's been a slow start for the 32-year-old veteran out of Dorchester, Massachusetts. Dan Vildar in the pipes tonight. Friend of the show, Chris Dvorak, enjoying himself a nice season, Bob. He signed a 1-year ticket with the Philadelphia Flyers. And there is familiarity there with Rick Tocchet coaching him, and not only in Philadelphia this year, but dates back to his days with the Arizona Coyotes.
It's good to see Christian Dvorak back in the United States, playing for the United States hockey team. No disrespect to Montreal. And yeah, you know what? This stretch is going to be important here. You got a quick push till Christmas. A lot of these guys get a long time off for Christmas. They have about 18 hours to spend with their families before it's back to it. But it's important to get that good push going into the holidays. You're going to want to keep that wild card spot. I mean, you got the Islanders breathing down Pittsburgh's neck. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be important to see if they're the real deal or not, or if it's a fluke.
Yeah. And speaking of good pushes, I'm sure a lot of people enjoy good pushes on Friday, waking up from Thanksgiving. A tush push right out of your rear end. That makes a lot of sense because that is the famous play that started in Philadelphia. 16:09 remaining as Christian Dvorak steps into the faceoff and loses that to Sidney Crosby, who ultimately takes the puck and uses his body to protect it, as well as Dvorak chasing him around the net and Owen Tippett losing a battle in along the wall to Erik Karlsson, who is almost revitalized his career on the later half here as he's playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and it makes sense getting away from Mike Sullivan as we get a chance from Cam York. And that's a save by Tristan Jarry, who then throws a blocker to a Philadelphia forward here, folks. 15:41 remaining if you're just syncing up. Christian Dvorak plays that puck in, and that is intercepted by Kevin Hayes as Owen Tippett plays it down to his line mate Trevor Zegras, who is enjoying a nice season. A give and go with Christian Dvorak and a great chance, as a grade B chance, I would rate it. Tristan Jarry gobbles that up and says, "Not now, you Southern California surfer. It is too early to get scored on here on a Monday night."
Folks, I want to redirect our attention to the chat where somebody says tickets to the Chicago show are $150. That is a scam. Tickets are around $25. You can find tickets to our live show this Wednesday at Zanies at homeby3.shop. Do not trust any external links, emails, phone calls, or collect calls from Indian princes overseas. That is fake. Tickets are $25 at homeby3.shop.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had anyone sell tickets on an alternative website before, but when you're the biggest show in Northeast Scottsdale that talks about anything from transgender to, well, transition plays on the ice, that's what happens, Bob. Sometimes people want to resell things. $128, though, that's like peak Rolling Stone prices. So maybe we are the biggest show in the world, as there's a chance by Evgeny Malkin. And I had his shots over tonight, folks, courtesy of the good people at Prize Picks. That was set at 1 1/8. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. It's good to be fucking right all the time. Evgeny Malkin plays that puck into Anthony Mantha, who famously doesn't really have a heartbeat or pace of play to any extent on the ice, but he can score a goal and he uses a white stick. So we'll be tuning into number 39 on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight to see if he can have some motion, if you will, on a Monday night.
Anthony Mantha also has a very nice watch collection. You did not hear that from me. I should definitely not be saying that on the air. Back to the game. That
is intel you can't get anywhere else, folks. There's a chance there. Speaking of Rolex Daytonas, number 81, the knockoff Phil Kessel came in like a car on the Daytona 500 there, streaking through the middle of the ice. As you know, the Pittsburgh Penguins this year, they have enjoyed some success, some revitalized energy under Dan Muse. I think there was a lot of question marks going into the season hiring a guy like that who's been an assistant coach at the National Hockey League level and ultimately spent time at the U.S. program, but he's done a very good job to date, and Kyle Dubas has to be very happy with the hiring he's had there. And what they're lacking in their roster right now, Bob, is they do have something. They do have life. They do have youth. And you know what? We'll see what they can do. One guy that they just called up today from Wilkes-Barre, though, Boka Amama. So maybe look for him to throw and chuck and duck tonight because he's not exactly up for his goal-scoring ability.
No, I am surprised that he is still in the league, and that is no disrespect. But, hey, when you can be a serviceable guy that's willing to punch somebody directly in their chin and give someone a concussion, you might as well give him a game.
Yeah, and I don't know if Nick Delorier is in the lineup tonight. We'd have to check the stat pack. Don't check Daily Faceoff, but maybe go to the NHL app and see if he's playing tonight. But that would be one. Not. Okay, so that's interesting to me because then probably Boki Imam is probably not going to have the fisticuffs flying tonight unless a guy like Garnet Hathaway would maybe exchange blows, but I don't think he's someone that would be willing to do that, especially getting shaken up on this play as Blake Lizotte delivers a shot.
What exactly is
to the midsection?
Oh, you can't hit a guy in his penis.
Garnet Hathaway, and hopefully he has a little bit of foreskin to protect that sack and shaft because, my God, that doesn't feel great. And Lizotte lucky not to get a penalty on that play because that was the old undercarriage, as they're going to review it here and We're going to go to our first commercial break. Chat, how we doing? Where are we checking in from again? Shane O'Brien joining the show at the first intermission. Pittsburgh Penguins, Philadelphia Flyers, Monday night action. Coverage you can't get anywhere else from the Home by 3 faithful.
Switch, as a former hockey player, what is the protocol when a guy in the other team slashes your teammate directly in his ball sack and switches the nuts inside of his sack the opposite way? Are you kind of like, hey, man, you're being a bitch? Do you try to get him back? What's the protocol when someone smacks your teammates directly in his nutsack?
I mean, that's a really scummy play, and I think bluntly putting it a bitch move.
I agree.
Like, guys only have a certain window to reproduce, and if you're lucky enough to have kids, that's great. That's probably the biggest feat of your life, and to take an opportunity away like that, potentially by spearing a guy directly in the nutsack that you control your own stick, I think is a total scumbag play, and I hope he gets a penalty here, honestly, because who sticks a guy in the fucking nuts?
I mean, why do that? I'd rather be slashed in the neck. Like, stay away from my sack. Listen, all you have is your word and your balls in this world. And, you know, it's the first period in a hockey game on Monday, December the 1st. The holidays are right around the corner. And, you know, you cut back from eating a bunch of turkey and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and trying to convince everyone your girlfriend is cool, even though she's not. And you get hit in the balls. It's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that's just that's a dirtbag, ultimate dirtbag move when you just go at a guy's nuts. Like, go at his chin. Don't go at his nuts, dude. I mean, and especially a guy like Lizotte where he's a little bit understatured and smaller statured guy. Like, come on, dude. Don't give the guy the pitchfork and blue ball him like that. That's cool. Not baseball, man.
No, that is not baseball. And speaking of baseball, this broadcast is brought to you by Prize Picks and Swish. His picks were on the screen. We also have Brian Rust at more than 1.5 shots and Trevor Zegras at more than 1.5 shots. So we get a second look at Blake Lizotte, fourth line centerman for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I don't know what happened here, but they're going to give Mantha. Did they give him a misconduct?
I don't know why Mantha would be sitting in the penalty box. It reminds me of The Hangover. Black Doug and White Doug. That is not Doug, and I can be your Doug, but they got the wrong guy there. So you see it in life, you see it in prison. Sometimes they get the wrong guys, and in the sin bin right now is Anthony Mantha, and I have to assume he is sitting because of Blake Lizotte's actions. I don't know if they called a phantom too many men on the ice, and that's why he's sitting, but we have the volume somewhere under 7 right now, so we can't hear it. But if anyone in the chat can confirm that penalty and what the call on the play was, that'd be great. We need eyes in the skies at all times. Nonetheless, Philadelphia, the ball does not lie. They are on the power play here, Bob, as Trevor Zegras brings in the puck, passes it over to Tyson Forrester. Now Travis Sanheim walks the line, and Zegras gets a chance there right on the goal line. The great seeing eye pass from Travis Sanheim, high to low, which usually happens low to high, but a great chance there for Trevor Zegras. I think he was looking for someone in front, but ultimately went with the shot to pad the stats. And the Corsi is a puck just dribbles over the stick of Tyson Forrester, who kind of gave himself a little bit of a coffin corner shitburger there by not angling his stick or choking up on it to receive a pass. But nonetheless, they will regroup as Trevor Zegras brings in the puck and sends a puck east to west on the dot lane that is not able to connect. And Brian Rust grabs the puck, and he takes it in on a little bit of a 1-on-3 to kill the clock before sending it into the other corner. And picking that puck up is Robert Brink, who's going to set it up for Cam York, the kid out of Southern California. Shout out to San Diego. And we have about 41 seconds here remaining in this power play. Owen Tippett plays a puck over to Meta Mishkov, who slips in and slips out of one and ultimately turns over the puck. And this Philadelphia first power play, not looking so strong, not looking to get, well, any real motion here, Bob. They can't set up.
You got to get that thing in the zone. You got to post up. You got to have eyes on a swivel as there's a guy that's wearing former 36 number Zach Ronaldo.
Ooh.
Finally gets a hold of that puck and passes it over.
Yeah, he was definitely stick handling like Zach Ronaldo there with 2 backhands, but that is Mishkov, who's 36, who's going to get a chance here. Oh, my shake and bake. He looks Russian, but I can't remember his name. As we're going to
36, that will be Grebekin.
Grebekin. Okay.
No, Grebekin.
Okay, Grebekin, because I've not seen that young man, and I would assume he's played under 20 games because I spent all night watching Instat and looking at elite prospects as we get a chance for Sidney Crosby. and he is able to convert on that cheeky rebound from Dan Valdar. Darth Valdar Vader would like that rebound back. And Rick Tocchet, who puts a decent amount of Botox into that forehead, as he should as a 60-year-old man, but looks no older than 40 years old, is in disgust from this play. But Anthony Mantha kicks that puck out. Now, Brian Russ is just going to take a run-of-the-mill snapshot, and it's going to hit the waffle of Dan Valdar. Now, instead of redirecting or directing this puck out to the corner or ultimately probably covering it and making a save, he lets a cheeky one go, and it's sitting there for none other than Sidney Crosby. Number 87 from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, gets his 17th of the year already, Bob. Not bad for a 38-year-old who seems to be like a fine wine, better with age.
Just absolutely incredible from Chin Harbour to keep his body in shape, to keep leading this team. You know what, Swish? I hope he retires a Penguin. I don't want to see him anywhere else. I hate to say that because I know a lot of people want to see him in Colorado. A lot of people want to see him. Actually, you know what? Maybe it would be cool to see him in Montreal. Right?
Yeah, I would say one spot that the Cole Harbour native Chin Harbour would play. I think it would be Montreal, but I'm with you. I would love to see him ride this out into the sunset. And ultimately, if Sid's going to be there, then you know Gino Malkin will still be there. You know Letang will be there. Marc-Andre Furta will probably come back for a year. So I hope they don't have to blow it up and this thing can keep going and they can add pieces as it goes. But you know what? The veterans there are doing a great job to keep this thing intact, but I still think they need some side pieces, some complementary pieces to ultimately drive this team for the next 2 or 3 years. Otherwise, you know, there's darker days in Pittsburgh ahead.
Do they not have a good prospect system? I thought they did down there in Wilkes-Barre.
Not, you know, for a while there, they were really good at developing players. And for whatever reason, they haven't had a ton of picks lately. And any guys really pop off. So, yeah, I think they're lacking a little bit, man. They traded away a lot of picks too, you know, when they were making those runs. So I think they're a little thin as we get a chance here for the Philadelphia Flyers. And this line right here for Rick Tocchet has been their best line all season. Christian Dvorak, Trevor Zegras, and as well as whoever plays on that line with them. I'm blanking on the name, folks, because we are not Kenny Albert over here. We are the greatest show in the world that does hockey games sometimes. And 8:51 remaining here as you're just following along. Folks, load up the chat. Give us questions. Shane O'Brien, the legend, going to join us at the intermission as Ryan Shea grabs that puck, and he's able to be a one-man breakout as he rounds it out with a ton of speed. And this is a guy that's really blossomed under Dan Muse. Last few years under Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan wanted nothing to do with him.
Really?
I think he killed a lot of his confidence. Yes, wow. I think he took away just the overall joy maybe Ryan wasn't having. And Dan Muse has come in there. This kid, it seems like he's just really turned the corner, and it seems like he's having fun. So you always root for guys because a lot of times guys have it in them to play well, but it's about the mental side. How are you playing? What's life away from the rink? Have you got divorced? Have you broken up? Did your dog die? Does the coach hate you? Do you have a lot of bad juju around you? You know what I mean? There's at the end of the day, Bob, I saw one of your tweets over the weekend. Hockey players just happen to be really good at hockey. They're still normal people at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're probably the funniest guys in sports. And, you know, that's the thing that coaches do. Coaches love to be controlling. They love to go through your phone and try to see pictures of your girlfriend's ass. They love to micromanage. And that's kind of what a lot of coaches do. They take the joy out of hockey. That's why I didn't make the NHL switch. Obviously, you've had coaches that do that. Not going to name names, Mike Yo, that just take away the love of the game. But let's just transition over to the positive side. There are coaches that bring out the best of you sometimes and get you to where you need to be. And hopefully for Ryan Shea, that is the case now. No relation to Brady Shea. It's good to see him flourish this year in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, and no relation to O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's gay son.
Ice Cube is a gay son?
Yep. Yeah,
wow.
A lot of them do. Yeah.
That's incredible.
A lot of, yeah.
Dwayne Wade.
Magic Johnson.
He has a gay son?
Yep. Yeah, he's actually a girl.
A lesbian son.
It's a dude that's now a chick. Transitioning into our next topic over here, one of the funniest quotes I actually received from a player that played for Mike Sullivan, one of his favorite words, I guess, that's not a word, stick-to-itiveness.
Huh.
So now I've heard that word with coaches, but I guess apparently in every meeting Mike Sullivan used to have, and especially when they were losing games, was we got to have a better stick-to-itiveness.
Wow.
So that's a mouthful, if you will. That's like going to an old country buffet and just plowing through a bunch of food at the hot bar.
There's nothing like
stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Mike, that is not a word.
Mike, you can't just do that, but then again, you could do whatever you want this day and age. Nothing really matters. Hey, the chat is absolutely buzzing tonight. We appreciate all of you. We have 125,000 people in the chat. It's absolutely buzzing. Shout out to Sarge. Everyone be cool. I think there's a chicken here. Yep. However, we are commenting a hockey game. We will get to the chat, but we appreciate you guys. We see you. We have a new episode out, Happy Chinsgiving, which is one of our most successful episodes recently. As we have, I want to give them the timestamp in here because people don't have NHL Network.
Yep.
We're 8:22, 8:21, 8:20 remaining in the first period.
Yep. And because we don't have an agent or sponsors, really, we will be doing a live show this week at Zany's Wednesday, Milwaukee Thursday. But also before we leave, we will be doing a podcast, a live pod tomorrow, folks. So we will give you a time for that. But right here, right now, live in the moment. Don't worry about the past or the future. Your time is here, and we thank you for showing up. Again, Shane O'Brien stopping by at the intermission. 7:49 remaining here as Pittsburgh leading 1-0. Their captain got him on the board in Philadelphia on Broad Street, where he's had a ton of success. And you know what? The Pittsburgh Penguins, I will say, they do have jump tonight. They do have a good step. It's fun to see. Now, Philadelphia, can you get going here after the Thanksgiving bender? You're still shitting out a ton of stuff. And you know what? You're a little bit heavy. But there are no excuses in the game of hockey. Rule number 76, no excuses. Play like a champion, folks. And also keep your fucking chin tucked.
When do you think the heaviest players in the National Hockey League are? Is it post-Thanksgiving? Is it post-Christmas? Is it post-Hanukkah? Is it after Valentine's Day? What's your opinion on that?
I would say probably post-All-Star break.
Ooh.
And now this year in an Olympic year, when you get over 2 weeks off, I would say some guys will probably put on north of 15 pounds. And those boys, yes, they might be on the Ozempic for a month afterwards. But yeah, you go on that Cabo bender, and then you probably go on one more bender because you have so much time. And it ends up being about a 10-dayer. But by the time you get back, you have 3 or 4 days before your first practice. You're still not really skating. You might be doing some light movement, and that's when you really put on the weight because you're having about 30 drinks a day for the better part of a week.
If I was a fringe guy that may make the Olympic roster and I didn't make it, I would go on the biggest bender. I would get so fat and have a horrible attitude coming back into the National Hockey League season because I got left off the team when I should have made it and made it. And a lot of guys are going to be in that position. Yeah,
I was talking to a guy that plays in the Western Conference about a week ago, and he's not a guy that's going to make the Olympic team per se of his country. And I was like, hey, what are you going to do for the Olympic break? He's like, well, you're going to be in Scottsdale for the waste management. I'm like, yeah, I think if, we're here, we're not working, I'll definitely be here. He's like, okay, yeah. I was thinking about coming in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll get on a bird to Hawaii for Monday. I go, are you planning on playing the rest of the season? What do you spend $50,000 and put on about, 50 pounds? And, rightfully so. They got that time. So, yep. I think this is the year like those guys just can't wait to get to that break, especially how much they're playing. And they deserve it, Bob. You know what I mean? In all seriousness, they're probably not drinking a ton. Not that hockey's all about drinking, even though it used to be. But they probably don't even have time to booze during the season because how demanding the schedule is. So they're probably using all their booze days for that break.
And they deserve it. Like you said, that's baseball. 6:11 remaining in the first period as Chinsey Crosby has the puck. He gets sent back up north to the point over to Erik Karlsson, who drifts it on that, and that's going to be caught
by Dan Veldar. And Karlsson sporting a different look this year, folks. I mean, he's not skating like it's 2013 per se, but he's got the duster back. He's got the short hair, and Erik Karlsson uses that heavy toe curve. And anytime he can get a one-timer from the top of the key, I think he has a real good chance of going in because he can still shoot it at a high rate. He's unbelievable at getting it through that first layer of traffic. And, I'm happy for him. It's good to see. Remember, it's just funny, like GMs always think, though, like two righties that command a ton of ice time that like to play with the puck, that they think it's going to work. Like Kyle Dubas, if he probably had the opportunity to go back and not trade for Erik Karlsson, I'm sure he would have done it. But like, how did he not learn from seeing it with San Jose and Brett Burns and Erik Karlsson? Like, it doesn't work when you have two righties that need first power play minutes because one guy's going to have to play on the second unit. And then the other guy is going to be looked at as, the redheaded stepchild or the number two. it's tough, man. It doesn't work.
And that's why you need to place emphasis on the eye test. You can't just learn everything in life through an iPad and through Excel spreadsheets.
Right.
You got to look at the game. You got to pass. If a guy's -4, it doesn't always tell the tale that he's the reason the goals happened when he was on the ice. And that's what some GMs just aren't willing to do. They're on Reddit. They're watching porn. They're not actually watching the game. Great save right there.
Yeah, and it, like we always say, it always comes back to porn, folks. That it was hilarious that one year when Man Jose won like 15 games and Erik Karlsson was -60 or whatever it was, but he's still at 100 points.
Yeah,
like, it was crazy. Like, say what you want about the guy. Yeah, he doesn't play any defense, but he plays a ton of offense. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've actually had a couple NHL coaches reach out over the years when I would, we'd discuss Erik Karlsson, and they'd always be like, if, it's easier said than done, but they'd be like, on that San Jose team, they would have tried him on forward a couple of times just to see what they had maybe up front. Because, you're going to lose the game anyways, 5-1, and he's going to be -3. He's going to have the assist, but maybe just to see how it would look with him on the wing because he's that skilled. But I just think playing forward in defense it's such a different game. Like, one's the game's behind you, one's in front of you. So back to the game over here, folks, as the game is right in front of us. It's not neither behind or ahead of us. It's right here on our chin, and we have 4:43 remaining as we get a look at Noah Juulsen, who sends that puck in, a journeyman that was drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, or maybe the Montreal Canadiens in the first round, dating back to 2013, being 26th overall. He comes over from the Western Hockey League as Erik Karlsson surveys his option and avoids traffic out of his trapezoid, and Anthony Mantha picks up that puck, and he sends it over to, number 75 is Connor Clifton, I believe. I'm taking a shot in the dark there, but
that's correct.
I believe it's him who came over from Buffalo, the Quinnipiac scholar, and famously lost 7-1 in the national championship game to North Dakota, and I think he was -3, but he's enjoyed himself a nice career in the National Hockey League. 4 minutes remaining here, folks, as Nick Seeler seals off a Pittsburgh Penguin, and that puck turns over, and Ryan Shea is going to collect it just outside of his own blue line and send a stretch pass up to Blake Lizotte, who plays that puck in, and now we're getting into the dump game, and that's when you start losing us over here a little bit at home by 3. But, folks, thank you for joining us again for the 19th time. Shane O'Brien going to join the chat here at the intermission. Going to hang out with the fellas. Obi, who I believe was over in Wichita on the weekend.
Wow.
Meeting the girlfriend's family for the first time. So
wow.
We'll have to ask him if he's proposing anytime soon.
You're not proposing, are you?
Well, think about it. 3:18 remaining here, folks, as Robert Brink chases that puck to Marcus Pettersson, and that is collected by Cam York, who makes a little bit of a chip play, and Zegras really bailed on that puck.
Yeah, that was a business decision.
It's not that Ryan Shea's ever hit anybody, nor has he really fought a cold, but Trevor Zegras, a very big business decision there, where he went in with the fire poker and the chin back, per se, is
the roller hockey.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins send that puck in. That's going to be icing as Cam York collects that puck, and the pride of Ann Arbor, Michigan, who was 14th overall a few years back, I believe, is, speaking of 14, Boko Imama wearing number 14, and that guy has an absolute brick of a head and
getting a little
frozen turkeys for hands, man. You don't want to be punched by that fella.
Getting a little bit of ice time with Sidney Crosby was Boko Imama, mucking it up in the corner, logging some very solid minutes as this puck is dumped back into the corner and chopped at.
Yeah.
Back up into the zone.
Parker Wotherspoon had the old 60-degree out, and he kind of healed that puck as we're going to get a change on defense as Connor Clifton going to step back on the ice here, folks, as Reuter McGorty gets that puck tangled up in his feet, and Garnett Hathaway, who famously has very stinky breath, plays that puck back to.
Does he?
Yeah, I've heard it.
That's tough.
Yeah, bad breath, but we've all had dragon breath or breathing fire, depending on.
I get bad breath. What
you ate the night before, or necessarily what you drank, as we're going to get that puck dumped in by that Russian. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Number 36 on the Philadelphia Flyers. And this game is getting a little bit jumbled up here, folks. Not a ton of plays connecting on. It seems like it's kind of like Boost Mobile in the rural area of Illinois right now. Not a ton of bars, not a ton of connection. But speaking of connection, well, Home by 3 has a very big connection into the greater Buffalo area. We're going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be at the Bills game Sunday. But on Saturday, we're going to be doing a show at Rec Room with the Missing Curfew guys. So If you haven't bought a ticket yet, go to homebuy3.shop. Go check that out, as well as our merchandise. Select merch still on sale through tonight, through Cyber Monday. Go check it out. 25% off, a very good deal. Go check that out. All of the latest merch as well. Not on sale, but on the website. Fair prices, premium quality. Go check it out.
Great quality. And we do have code Black Fridays Matter for 25% off all select merch on homebuy3.shop. And we were going to make the code something else, but our team of Jewish lawyers told us do not do that. And they're very smart people and they look out for our best interests. So we reverted to code Black Fridays Matter for 25% off. And that sale ends tonight at midnight. And shout out to everybody in the chat that is telling us that we are much better than the NHL Network. We really appreciate that over here at Home by 3. We are relentlessly emailing Amazon Prime to get us on mainstream national TV. We'll see what happens here.
Just give us one game.
Give us a game.
Give us one
Call
game,
us
dude.
up. For fuck's sake.
Come on, man.
I mean, for fuck's sake, we can button it up. We could be family friendly for F's sake.
We can be family friendly for 7 figures. Who wouldn't be?
We're 2 family friendly guys, as we have a chick in the chat. Shout out to Andy with an I. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we do. I saw it was on our website, on the backside of our website per se, and
Backside of things.
Yeah, no Diddy, but I did see that we had a female customer that made a purchase today. So shout out to all the chicks in the chat. Shout out to all the chicks that wear the merch. Shout out to all the chicks that get home by 3.
Shout out to all the chicks. 2 minutes remaining on the dot. This broadcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, Picket, FTL Bags, Men's League Sweater, Free Pouch, and a couple other more that I'm forgetting. Dryello. Which is a athlete's foot stick glide. It glides like Cale Makar. It is a deodorant-like stick for athlete's foot. No one wants to talk about athlete's foot, but if you have it or you want to prevent it, dryello.com, promo code CHIN gets you about 20% off. Look, we've all been in locker rooms. We've all been in gross areas. We've all almost battled staph infections. We've all almost battled athlete's foot. We've all had chlamydia.
We've all had athlete's chin. This will actually prevent and help treat athlete's chin and foot. So dryello.com for all your athlete's foot, chin, and chlamydia needs.
And what you're going to want to do, too, is when you buy this Dryello stick, it's similar to a chapstick. Put it directly on your chin. Now, I would ask your doctor. We are not doctors over here at HB3, but wouldn't it be funny to get a Dryello stick that cures athlete's foot and just put it on your chin? You never know.
Keep your chin safe at all times, as we are the head of players' chin safety over here, folks. Like Bob said, put it on your chin. See what happens. Maybe it has reverse effects. Don't quote me on that. I am not WebMD. So 1:13 remaining here as Christopher Letang surveys his option. Makes a little bit of an escape play to his partner, Eric Carlson, 2 veterans playing, 2 men that have played over 1,000 games. One that's won multiple Norris trophies, and one that's been in consideration for one, and one that probably rocks the longest knob tape job in the league. Number 58, Chris Letang. You're a Hall of Famer in my books, buddy. You've been through hell and back. Folks, again, thank you for tuning in to the biggest show in the world. We are just getting started with you. We're going to go to intermission. We're going to have a guest on, and then we will be back to the game. 1:03 remaining, shots 8-8, 1-0 Pittsburgh. And we are getting a look at Sean Couturier, who has had north of 9 back surgeries, but somehow still playing the game of ice hockey. Kudos to you, brother. That shit ain't easy, even though you're making $7 million. You could have just rode off into the sunset, but you're not a bitch. And you come back and you compete as Brian Rust gets a chance here. And, Dan Veldar going to come out and play that, but that was blocked off the inner shin, maybe chin, or maybe just the top of the foot by Brian Rust from a shot from Cam York. But no blood, no foul there, as Chris Letang is going to try a pass into, I believe, Kevin Hayes. And that is ultimately intercepted by Sean Couturier, who was dancing on his own there like Robin. As Trevor Zegras is going to survey his options like a roller hockey player and skate directly into the trap. And Ryan Shea going to go back for that puck and ultimately put a little bit of mustard on it, put it on the yellow.
Good chaos created by Tippett right there to get in there a little bit. Skates were in the wrong direction, but managed to tie up Letang as Trevor Zegras backs off. And we're going to have this period come to a close. 3-2. And one, and that is your first period, folks, of the HB3 Allcast, one of the biggest hockey shows in the world with the most hot female listeners, as there's a little scrum with Devo, friend of the show, and Ryan Shea.
And all the chicks in here. You know what? Thank you for tuning in to the biggest show in the world. I think standing by right now, we do have NHL veteran, legend, a man with over 550 NHL games, 100-odd pro fights, maybe 100 off the ice as well. A good Irishman from Port Hope, Ontario, whiskey drinking, chin tucking, chuck, duck, fuck, fight, or hold the light, double nickel. An absolute beauty who we'll see this weekend in Buffalo. Folks, without further ado, please welcome to the stage number 55 in the program, number 1 in your fucking hearts, Shane O.B. O'Brien. Fella, how you doing?
What's up, boys? Looking sharp. Obviously, great intro as always by 93.1 Jay Swish. Boys, wow, look, like they got the suits on with the ties. You boys get those dry cleaned today, or were they hanging up in the closet ready to rock?
Oh, they were ready to rock, Obes. We are literally making hundreds of dollars over here with all 8 of our sponsors. So we are actually falling out. We've had multiple suits ready to go, and we're looking good, feeling good.
Yeah, we had an agent. We had a little meeting. Scouts, we had an agent meeting today, and I don't know if the guys listened, but that's why I was like, we got to suit up. We got to go 3/4 Windsor. We got to look good. Yeah, we're sitting on the couch, but we're going to call this thing like we're Kenny Albert in the booth right now, Hope. So,
yeah. By the way, it's a nice looking sectional too. You know, in between periods, want to put the feet up. That's my kind of setup, boys.
Yeah, nice little stabbing cabin. So, Obes, you were before we get to the hockey talk here. How did Wichita treat you? How was the Midwest? How was the Thanksgiving? Did we coat the throat with some whiskey and stuff the barrel, or take me through that, baby?
No, listen, that's why I got the toque or beanie, whatever you want to call it. I'm still recovered from the Midwest chill, fella. It was a little there was a chill in the air there. You know what? Her family's not a bunch of really big drinkers, which is great for me. So it was a lot of eating, just chilling. I'm getting ready for next weekend in Buffalo with you, beauty. So I had a nice little weekend of recovery. Ate too much, but boys, I'm ready to go for next weekend, and I'm going to make up for what I didn't drink this weekend, Swishy. I'm going to make up next weekend, fella.
Yeah, keep the One Rocks flowing, and oh my God, Chippewa Street, we are coming in hot, and we have a young man out of, I think he was conceived at Little Texas in Belleville, Ontario, Brad Richardson joining us, so that's going to be unbelievable.
No.
Missing curfew.
Yeah. He's coming?
Yeah, missing curfew, home by 3, live show on Saturday at the Rec Room. Obes, I wanted to ask you, now, it seems like this season, obviously, the schedule we've talked about on Missing Curfew has been so demanding for the players, guys getting hurt, banged up. But I think the real storyline is guys getting hurt off the ice. Another man, Alexei Torpchenko, got hurt at the barbecue the other night. So what's up with these Europeans? Do they not know how to start a gas grill? Are they getting too drunk before they throw the A5 Wagyu on the barbecue? Like, what's going on here? We got 2 guys with grill injuries.
I know. I hope they were at least had a nice little red wine buzz going on if they can't even run the barbecue. I listen, the boys are getting dinged off the ice left, right, and center. Swishy, I don't know what's going on. You got to get yourself a nice Blackstone like I got out here, fella. It's safety proof. You can be as tuned up as you want. You just throw a little fucking butter or whatever on there, olive oil, if you want to be healthy, because I know you like to stay light and lean. But come on, boys, you can't be getting hurt off the ice. You can't be getting hurt with your barbecue. And if you are, just hire some hot chick to cook for you. I mean, like you boys are all making enough dough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm with you, dude. I just these guys, it's just like Jack Hughes is getting hurt. I mean, at least he was taking the screws to take McRae. Hey, I saw your quote there on, I think Hockey Forever reposted it. You're like, you said something about Jack Hughes. You're like, that's the swag I want in my dressing room. And of course, dude. I mean, 100%. The world is your oyster if you're a guy like that. Like, why don't more single guys in the NHL shoot for the stars like that, man? I would be, if I was in that position, dude, I would be just firing DMs relentlessly.
Yeah, no, that's the fire things in the National League. And like anytime I played with a guy, or if I was like a GM and a guy showed up to my team and didn't have a very good looking girlfriend, I'd be like, what's going on with this guy? What's he lacking? Confidence here? Or like something's going on. He's playing in the NHL. You know, nowadays all these kids get 8-year extensions. If you're not either with the famous chick or a hot, dime, in my opinion, I don't know if you got enough swag to walk in my dressing room. But if you're Jack Hughes and you are, the man in New Jersey. He obviously likes to come over the river, get down there in the West Village and mix it up. Why not take a healthy run at Tate McRae? I think it's great for the game in all seriousness. And for Jack Hughes, that's what the league's all about, fella.
Yeah, that's what these stars have to do. They have to cross promote. It's kind of like us. We try to collab with people just to get our views up. Maybe that's what the NHL needs. They need more single guys. They need more single guys to take runs at famous chicks such as Tate McRae's, Sabrina Carpenter, stuff like that. And Obes, you bring up a good point. Listen, if your girl, maybe she's a 4 and she has a great personality, that doesn't really matter. It's all about being superficial. You want to have the hottest chick possible. Even if she's a gigantic bitch, no one needs to know that. You go out, you fake it for a little bit, you look good with her. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And some guys would say, well, I met these girls before I made money, and I just don't want to meet a girl that wants my money. Well, then why'd you work so hard to get to the NHL? Every girl wants money. I don't care if she's from your high school or whatever. Like, you paid the price, you got to the league. If she wants you for your money, who cares, right? Just don't marry her. Just enjoy yourself and get out there and enjoy the finer things of the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking like a true veteran of the guy that was, single for the better part of his career, then did it right. But you're right, Obes. Like, and you could always, if you do get to that step where you do end up marrying her and you guys think you love each other, well, there's paperwork you can do before as well, just in case to take care of everything on your end, right? It's just that's show business.
I mean, look, man, you're paying for it one way or another.
Exactly.
Right?
Boy, Heat Daddy. Well said. And just going back to Jack Hughes and Tate McRae, my girl, I got a great girl now, Mac Miller. She's like, I don't get why, like, you guys are talking about it, and Sean Avery's talking about it, and like Swishy and Heat Daddy. I'm like, because it's very rare that a guy in the NHL gets the publicity of like dating a famous hot chick. It's like it's either a football player or a basketball player or a guy from the association. It's about time that the NHL boys get what they deserve. We're all good dudes. We treat girls great. We make some dough. These guys should be going after the top of the food chain, Swishy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the next guy to really pull something off like that would be Bill Nylander. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the swag to go, in my eyes, to go get whatever he wants. I mean, you're walking in with the white beater, you got the Chrome Hearts hoodie on, or you got the hat on, you got the chains. You know what I mean? Like, that's a guy that could go out there and do some damage in that sense. And I don't know, like you said, all press is good press, Obes, right? Like, it's like you see it all the time with Formula One drivers, soccer players. It's about time these hockey boys stepped up and realized that, go shoot your shot, man. What do I say? Shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're single, if you're one of the smart ones and single in the National League, you work your balls off to get there. And like Swishy said, start sliding into some DMs. Shoot or shoot, Swishy? Shoot or shoot, fella.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe it's transactional, and maybe you guys just sync up together just to make a good reel. Yeah. Because life right now is more superficial than ever. So why not lean into it and be as superficial as possible? Who cares? You get a good reel with Tate McRae, and next thing you know, you got to deal with CCM for 20 racks.
Marketing.
Yes, it's all marketing.
And by the way, not only that, now Jack Hughes, you're getting invited to even sicker parties in Manhattan. I'm sure Jack Hughes, now he's a CAA guy. I think, right? Like, I'm sure Patty Brisson and CAA can get him into some shakers, but now you start dating one of the most famous girls in the world. Now you're getting into these parties, and God forbid it doesn't work out with Tate. It doesn't work out with Tate. Well, now you're meeting other people at these other girls at this party through Tate. So it's a win-win for Jack Hughes, in my opinion.
It's the Pete Davidson effect. It really is.
There you go.
Well, it's the Johnny drama too, and politely putting it for all the parents listening, but it's pussy attracts pussy. Now you're going to that white party with Michael Rubin, and maybe it didn't work out with Tate McRae, but now you put yourself in that circle where people that maybe didn't watch hockey, females that is, now they know who you are because you were with or seen with Tate McRae. It's show business, dude. So I love the play, but in all seriousness, Obes, I wanted to get back to a little bit of hockey talk with you. One guy in particular, and we spoke, a little bit about him, but Connor Bedard. Now, Connor Bedard is a young man or a young kid that you were hard on in the past, but now, you've almost said, hey, look, maybe I was wrong about this kid. Looking ahead to the Olympics, is this a guy at 21 or 20 years old, whatever he is he a shoe-in for your Olympic roster if you're John Cooper and staff there with Team Canada?
Yeah, it seems like, in my opinion, 100%, right? And Swishy, I believe I was never a numbers guy, although, until I got my paycheck, then I can check those zeros. Heat Daddy, I'm like, I can count that fella. But in the Four Nations, I believe they brought 22 skaters over to Italy. I think they're allowed to bring 25. So maybe if he's not in your top 4 lines to start the tournament, in my opinion, he is. I believe he's 3rd in the league in scoring right now behind McKinnon and McDavid. I mean, what else does this kid have to do? But you're right, Swishy. I was hard on him. The first 2 years he came to the league, I'm Brad Richardson, the pride of Belleville, as you would say. He always told me, "Oh, he's so young. He's so young." I'm like, Richie, he doesn't have that getaway speed to separate himself. I'm like, you can have all the hands you want in the NHL. If you don't have that step to get away from me, even I'm going to get a stick on your pass or your shot. Whatever he did this summer, Swishy and Bobby Gucci, he has that little get up and go now that separates him, that he can allow his hand, his skill, and his vision to take over. And he's playing with a lot more bite. Like when guys hit him, he cross-checks them back. You don't have to fight. Just show me that I'm playing against you, that you're not going to take it all night. So to me, I mean, I think he's already got his seat on the bird picked. I don't know what he drinks. Hopefully some red wine. Enjoy that flight over with the boys on Hockey Canada, Air Canada, or whatever you're going to be on.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, but when he was coming into the league as well, he was allegedly very conservative. He wouldn't eat pizza. He didn't want to have a beer. And obviously this might be completely wrong, like most things I say. But it seems like ever since that video came out, he was a little bit, seemed to be inebriated at a bar. I don't condone that. I think the weirdos that take pictures of guys at the bar, it's a whole other topic. But it seems like he's kind of got his footing in the league now, more confident. And I think personally that has a lot to do with going out and getting shit-faced. I think it just really helped him all along for his hockey game.
I agree. And obviously, the kid's going to take care of himself, but, he's an ultimate pro. He's been taught that his whole life. But you got to think a guy like Nick Foligno, right? I mean, I love that guy. I would take that guy on my team any day. You got to think he pulled him aside and said, "Hey, kid, come out with us here, or enjoy yourself. You can't be so serious." And I think once Connor, I'm just assuming, I'm not in the dressing room, but when you see your veteran guys that have been in the league a long time say, "Hey, fella, come on and have a beer. Hey, have a slice of pizza, enjoy yourself." Like you gotta kind of realize that, yeah, you gotta be a pro. Yeah, I gotta take care of my body, but you're playing in the NHL for the Chicago Blackhawks. If you can't enjoy yourself there, well, where can you enjoy yourself, Bobby Gucci?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, the Texan Taco in West Loop. Oh, my Trim State University. Fella. Don't you think, though, like, for him, say he was a milk drinker up until maybe this year, per se. Then he out, has a night out off Division Street at the Lodge. It looked like that picture was taken. He comes into practice. He's a little hung. Now, Obes, as a good Irishman, when you go to practice a little hung, you're a little grumpy, fella. You might stick somebody. You might cross-check them. That's what I used to do. I used to be a little pissed off, especially if I was in the jungle. I'd be like, "Oh, my God, I'm going to take liberties on this 6th-round pick from 2 years ago. Fuck him. He's a French fuck, and he's soft." So maybe there just happened to be a situation where Bedard went into one of those practices early on in the season, was a little hung, had a little bit more bite, and maybe Jeff Blashill, one of the teammates like Foligno, went up to him and was like, "Hey, bring that every time." And maybe something clicked just because he hit the piss.
Yeah.
And this is all speculation.
Listen,
it could be true.
By the way, I don't know if this is probably not a good thing, but I was usually more pissed off when I showed up for practice not hungover, right? Like when I showed up hungover, when I showed up hungover, I'm like, all right, I gotta focus. I gotta pass it on the tape, I gotta play hard. Show up not hung. I'm like, this is painful. I'm bored. I'm gonna abuse somebody out here. Some kid comes to the net, I'm gonna give it to him. But in all seriousness, and listen, Bernard's a young single kid, right? You got to go out and enjoy the finer things of life, to meet girls, to get to know the city, to meet some friends away from the ice. Like, it's not all about going out and, getting O'Brien drunk at the bar and stuff like that. It's about going out, enjoying your city, having a good time, meeting some, for him, young girls or some people that are in the restaurant scene or the bar scene. Like, in all seriousness, those are some of the best people I met in the game that were away from the hockey club. So I love everything this kid's doing. I was hard on him. But whatever he did this summer, Swishy, I mean, he came back a completely different guy.
Yeah, even last night that was a turning point for me, Obes, because he was actually roommates with Mason McTavish, I believe, in some instance, whether it was World Junior teams, in junior, a really good buddy. And, during that game, no prisoners were taken. He was shoving him. He was in his face, stinky glove. He's not backing down anyone. And it's really cool to see that. I actually didn't think he had it in him, to be honest. And he's really turned the corner for me. And he's a player, man. I don't know what is clicked. I don't know if it was ayahuasca in the summer again. I don't know, but he has bite right now, and it's cool to see.
Hey, by the way, Mason McTavish, I love that kid too, but he could play with a little more bite as well. I watched him out here in Anaheim. I'm like, this kid's got all the skill in the world. And I watched him when he played in Peterborough and came up through World Juniors. I'm like, this kid's a throwback. If I had one bit of advice for him, not that he gives a fuck what I think, he could play with a little more jam, and that would give him a little more room out there because he's got a lot of skill.
Yeah. Yeah. And one other question I wanted to ask you, Obes, I was taking a little bit of flack online, a little Joe Flacco, if you will.
No.
It's just me in the mix, but it was a player in particular, and that was Adam Fox. Now, if you're looking at that USA blue line, right, you have players like Jacob Slavin, Charlie McAvoy, Quinn Hughes. You have Jake Sanderson, Werenski, Faber. Like, to me, Obes, I think he's on the team, Fox, but I think he's used in a power play specialist role because I don't trust him defending. I really don't when the game is on the line. Like, he gets bullied out there, man.
Yeah, no, that's you took the words right out of my mouth, Swishy. I'm going to say he's going to be on the club just because, he won a Norris Trophy in the Rangers. I believe it was the COVID year. He can work the power play up top, but I'm with you. His boots are almost as slow as mine were. And to me, he's just defensively, he's at times a real liability. But I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure they can bring 25 skaters. Adam Fox is a guy that maybe if you want to dress 7D one night, you know what I mean, Swishy? He just plays the power play. Maybe you get him out there for offensive zone faceoffs late in the game if you're down a couple. But his all-around game, boys, I've never loved. Like, I never thought he was like, even the year he won the Norris and he had sick numbers, I'm like, this guy's not doing it for me at an elite level. I mean, he's obviously a national leaguer, but I don't think you're going to see him play big minutes over there in Italy, Swishy.
I really think they should extend those rosters just by a couple guys, man. I mean, the Olympics are only every 4 years, and it's just there's so many good players out there. I would love to see them just extend it by like even 2 or 3 guys. Like, I mean, it's the Olympics, right? A couple guys get to call themselves Olympians, and maybe they're not playing. They get to sniff around the Olympic Village and have the time of their life. I would just love to see that. I don't know if that's realistic, but yeah.
You
imagine being a black ace in the Olympic Village. Oh my God. Holy fuck! Check your wrench after that one.
They're handing out Z-Packs every morning in the Olympic Village, guaranteed. Hey, you guys are the perfect guys to ask. Because I was wondering this, like, obviously, Swish, you went to the Four Nations. We had time. We left it all out there. But the momentum that built for the game and the fans, like, I think this Olympic experience is going to be unbelievable for the players. Like what he just said. You get to go over there, represent your country. You're in the village. You get to go other events. But from a fan's perspective, do you think it's going to be as fulfilling as that Four Nations was? I don't know what to expect as a fan. As a player, I know these guys are going to go over there and have the time of their life. But as fans, do you think we're in for the same kind of treat?
I personally think unless USA doesn't make the Olympic gold game where we have that buzz like USA versus Canada, Obes, I don't think we feel the same effect, sadly, as we do for the Four Nations. USA has to be playing for the gold, and it has to be against Canada for the nation really to rally like that. Man, it was crazy how many people were talking about that game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's
1980.
Obes, I was for that Four Nations game. I was in Miami at Moxie's, and I thought, like, hey, obviously it's a great spot to go. I did not really expect there to be any buzz. The entire fucking bar was going berserk for that game down in South Florida. So to me, that was a testament, like, holy shit, like this rivalry is different. I'm going to piggyback off what Swish just said. I think it's got to be USA Canada to see sparks fly like that.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Heat Daddy, Bobby Gucci. Out here in Southern California, man, my boys at the golf course were talking about it. People that have never talked to me about hockey. And listen, I love the Olympics for the players' perspective, and I'm going to watch and stay up late or early or whatever the fuck it's going to be. But, like, I think moving forward, either we, focus on building a World Cup. Like, I'm not saying we're ever going to get to where soccer is with their World Cup or, even baseball with their World Baseball Classic they have or whatever. But, like, if you could build around the World Cup and then another part of that, boys, is what we're just talking about. Maybe every couple of years we do a 4-7 Canada versus USA. Just a series, 4-7, fucking whatever, flip for home ice or however you want to do it. Because that Canada-USA rivalry is only going to get better, especially with those two beauty Kachuk brothers involved in it. That's something I just think the boys should think about, building the World Cup, making it more big deal, and maybe a USA-Canada every couple of years, 4-7. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable. And also, I didn't even think that the Four Nations were going to bring that juice like that, but it did. And best of 7 USA Canada, that is a fucking great idea. Fuck it, have it outside in a stadium. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, full Gary Bettman. Let's get Mike Sullivan to be the coach of every single one of those teams too, because we need the pregame speeches. You know what I mean?
I know, dude. I had Sully in Tampa, Swish. I think I told you this last time. Me and you were putting back a couple one rocks. There was not one day. Not one fucking day my second year in Tampa. And I was dealing with Tortorella too, right? So I had torts coming at me from every fucking angle. And then every day Sully would pull me in to watch video and he'd be like, stop it. He's like, see right there? See your stick? See where your stick is? It needs to be over here. I see where you're. I'm like, Sully, it's easy when you have a fucking remote control. We're sitting here having a cup of Joe. But like Ovechkin was going 110 miles an hour out there, bro. Like I'm just trying to like keep him to the outside. So, dude, I love how you bag on Sully because he bagged on me for every day for a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. The game's pretty easy when you have a stop button. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Like you're gonna nitpick me, Sully. Like, come on, dude. Like I just went out and had 10. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little stunned.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Look at Pittsburgh. The guy. You know, you guys are doing the all cast tonight for this game. Like last year, I said throughout the year, like you know, and I like Sully. You know, I didn't love him, but you know, he was all right with me. Besides, like I said, call me in every single day. I'm like, leave me alone. But, like, you knew the Pittsburgh Penguins just needed a new voice. Like, these guys have been listening to Sully forever. It's time to mix it up. I'm glad they gave this guy an opportunity, even though he's not going to be on the cover of GQ anytime soon, but he's doing a hell of a job with Sid the boys.
Yeah, I mean, even you heard Carlson speak when he was over playing in the, you know, the international games, or whatever they call it, the 15th time they've been to Sweden in the last 10 years. But, you know, what he was saying, it was just basically like, you know, the new voice, and basically saying that they were sick and tired of Sully and, you know, how he wanted to play. It's like, it seems like these guys are generally excited again, and where they lack depth, you know, the older veterans there are carrying the load right now. Like Sid just got his 17th goal of the season. This guy's amazing, man. Crazy. From Chin Harbor, Nova Scotia.
I know, right? Just goes to the blue paint, stops, boom, bangs it in. That's where you got to go if you want to score. I know when it came up and I saw it 17th of the year, I'm like, wow, this guy he's a machine, man. And I don't think Pittsburgh's going to hang around to make the playoffs. I just don't. But they're off to a better start than I could ever imagine, man.
The one thing about Crosby, too, it doesn't even matter who the fuck he's playing with. That's what really gets me about that guy. It does not matter.
You know what's not said about Crosby enough either, boys? He stayed single his whole career, right? Never been married.
Wow.
Doesn't have 4 kids. Doesn't have an ex-wife. Just goes, plays, has tons of money, and does whatever he wants. Like, I don't care what anyone says. That's the reason he's staying young, too. You know, some of my boys, I won't mention names, but throughout the career, started popping out kids and, you know, this and that. It's like, whoa, fella. Just got lots of time for that. I respect Sid for being single and doing it his way his whole career.
Yeah, and Obes, like you always said, too, you know, you made 12, but it's like you made 20 because you got no kids.
Yeah. Some people will be like, Obes, how do you afford to live out there? Like, you did all right, but you didn't, you know. I'm like, fella, never got divorced, no kids. That's like making double. Fella.
Yeah, you're not paying for your liberal girlfriend's PhD in fucking education. You know, you're not fucking
dude. Oh. And by the way, if I would have stayed out of the clubs in Hollywood, I would maybe be living like up in the Newport Coast here. You know, maybe I might be having a banger house because those Amex bills were out of control, fella.
Yeah, you were getting the perks though from them. You know, you got lounge access, you got a $200 stipend. You probably had to spend triple, but you know,
hey, Swishy, you ain't paying for the booze, fella. You're paying for the real estate.
You're paying for the real estate, fella. We're not paying for this bottle of kettle.
You're paying for the real estate.
Yeah, we're paying for what comes with this real estate.
Exactly. Hey, boys, I got one quick question for you, lads. You're about to head out on the road for the Let It Snow tour. Talk to me about what you're bringing. Are we going to do a lot of dry cleaning? Are we going to pick up fresh skits on the fly? What's going on with you boys? Because you're on a little stretch here of just you two beauties on the road being single having a time. But what's the packing looking like?
Yeah, dude. I think we're gonna have to we're bringing merch too for our shows. So we gotta bring the merch kit. Then we're gonna bring we're probably gonna have to check a couple bags, and then at one of those places, I'm gonna have to get the laundry service. You know, they tell you it's like $2 a pound, and all of a sudden you just throw all your shit in the pile. Like $600.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even whack the mini bar yet. Like, what's going on here, fella?
Yeah, you're like, fuck. Put a little extra starch in those undies then for me, would you? Throw a little starch in there, make them a little crispy for me.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, Obes. I actually always, when I hit the road, I always like to kind of shop when I land and just pretend like I have money when I really don't. It just gets me feeling good for the show. It gets me feel like, you know, I belong. And you definitely feel a type of way when you have a fresh fit on. So it's all about making it till you make it. So I do a little bit of both, pack some shit that, reliable stuff, but then also, hit the store and buy some shit I absolutely can't afford.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby Gucci, you're like the surgeon. Sergey Kostitsyn guy was making like $525 my year in Nashville. Every time we landed anywhere, he'd come back to the hotel with just Gucci bags and fucking Prada bags. And I'm like, where are you going for dinner? He's like, Mastro's. I'm like, fella, you're making $525. Save some of that. He's like, nah, you got to look good. So the surgeon, I love that guy.
The surgeon, yeah, he probably paid about $200K to play that year in the National League.
Dude, he scored 20 that year. He's a beauty, man. I love the surgeon. He was my guy in Tampa. Him and in Nashville. Him and Joel Ward. That's a mixed bag. You got a big Irish Canadian, Wardo, our black boy from Scarborough, wherever he's from, and then the surgeon from Belarus or wherever he's from. But we were the three horsemen that year.
Yeah, that's quite the crew. Joel Ward too. He played 5 years of CIS and then just came in and just tucked like every important OT winner for like 5 years. Yeah,
Bobby Gucci, you'll love this. Bobby Gucci, you ever been to a Tin Roof in Nashville, bro?
No, never.
All right, so whatever. It's your typical honky-tonk bar for the Predators. That's where all the boys go. And obviously, Wardo, he's a black hockey player. So he wanted me to go to this bar with him one time in East Nashville. So I'm like, all right, Wardo, I'll go with you. And anyways, I walk in there and I'm the only white boy in there. I'm the only white boy in there. And I'm like looking at Wardo like, am I okay in here, fella, or whatever? And then finally, after like 10 minutes, I'm like, you know what, Wardo, I'm just going to leave, man. Like, you have a good time. He's like, well, how do you think I feel like in a Tin Roof? I'm like, this is not how you feel, brother. Trust me, man. I'm like, you just stay here. You have a good time. I'm gonna duck out. I'm going to duck out of here. You enjoy the show, my man. So I love Wardo, though. He's an absolute beauty.
Yeah, sometimes you got to keep your chin on a swivel. And
I'm like,
there's a Tin Roof, I believe, in Fort Lauderdale or maybe Delray. And I walked in and it was the same type of crowd. Everybody was on speakerphone. And sometimes you just got to pull the parachute and get out of there.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm out of here, Warren. But it was just funny. He's like, well, how do you think I feel at the Tin Roof? I'm like, fella, come on, buddy. It's all good. You have a good night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like when I brought my cousin and my brother to Magic City in Atlanta. They were looking around at me. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, Swishy, where'd you bring us? And I had a merch girl because I needed a Magic City hoodie. So I walk across the stage. There's only one stripper pole in there. I walk across. I'm like in this dude's like this glorified rapper's booth, like, trying to get to this merch girl in a thong. I'm like, hey, I need a 2XL. She's like, where you be sitting? I'm like, I'm over there. She goes, by the glow stick? Because my cousin looks like he's kind of albino. She's like, by the glow stick? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you the only white boys in here. I'm like, I know. But yeah,
dude,
that was
I'll tell you what, Swishy, man, we played in the old Southeast Division with the Atlanta Thrashers. We were in Tampa. And we were young then or whatever. We walked into some bars in Hotlanta. We were like, oh man, maybe we should move on here on this one. But we always had some fun in Hotlanta, man. It's a good city.
Chocolate Hollywood, baby. Johnny's Hideaway, Cheetahs, Magic City. God damn.
Always a good time.
Really good time in those places. Like they're playing some crazy good music. Like it just depends where you're at. Like,
totally.
With those places, like they don't want you in there, and it's very clear. And obviously, it works both ways, though. If you're a guy like Joe Ward and you walk into like a Harold's, which is a biker bar in Scottsdale, he's probably going to get the books. But, at the end of the day, man, it's all about just having a good time. So, it's, I'll fucking go anywhere after a couple of drinks, Obes. I don't give a shit. I think you know that now.
Yeah, I was like, Ward, I'm in. Let's do it, fella. And then after a couple of cocktails, I'm like, all right, bro, I'll see you at practice tomorrow. Have a good time.
Obes, my last question for you. We won't keep it too long, brother, because we're going to be on the airwaves tomorrow for missing curfew. But game in Aspen, week and a half out. My D partner, you got traded to the NHL alumni team from Colorado on a blockbuster deal, future considerations, and a conditional third rounder. The condition being on the pick if O'Brien plays more than 15 minutes. How are we feeling? Are you ready to go D to D hinge? And all I need you is in front of the net, and I'll shag the biscuits in the corner, brother.
Dude, listen, by the way, you're one of the greatest guys on X ever. But that post I was dying. You're like, if O'Brien plays over 15 minutes, which, by the way, take the under on that, fella. Listen, I'm excited. I didn't even know about it until the official rosters came out. So I was like, all right, they slid me over to the alumni team. I think they know.
Call you.
What's that?
Said your agent didn't even call you.
No, which is typical, eh? Which is typical.
Yeah.
He always just called me when I was in shit. He's like, oh, you're in shit again. I'm like, thanks, bud. I knew that before he called me. Listen, I'm looking forward to sitting in the room with you. I'm looking forward to sitting on the bench and shooting the shit with you and Loops. The up dog dodged the bullet because I had some cross checks coming his way that he now is not going to have to eat on the. I had him right here, Swishy. I was going to get him right. His
Yeah.
arms are so skinny right now too. I'd almost probably just be able to snap it in half on him. But I'm looking for. I haven't been on the ice, dude. Upshaw's skating like I see you boys are skating too, but Upshaw's been skating nonstop, man. Like he's using his kid Beckham as an excuse too. Like I'm taking Beckham skating.
Yeah.
Me and Lupo are onto him. Like, dude, you're like legitimately training for this game. Like, so
Right.
what I'm saying is he better fucking bring it, Swishy. Like we need him to have a big night because look at on paper. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to score goals on our team. But like, you're going to have to get up in the rush. You're going to have to make it a 4-man rush. Don't expect that out of me, Swishy. Looking at our team, I like our back end. I like our forward group of character.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Lupo can turn the clocks back, maybe. But who's going to score goals for us, fella?
Yeah. Who do we have? Craig Adams. We have Carbomb. We have Loops. We have Uppy. We have Nate Thompson. We got a lot of really good, respectable bottom six guys. Loops obviously was a goal scorer in his day. So we're gonna have to maybe he can find a steady dose of mushroom and play it back like it's 2014. But
Loops is coming in. Loops is coming in with a bad wheel though. He's got a little meniscus of some sort going on that he's been just kind of dealing with. So I don't know if he's going to be able to come in there and really have much jump. But I just told him to get to the net front. Maybe tip a couple home. Yeah,
and we got. I mean, speaking of our back end too, like the tan we have between me, you, and Chelly is unheard of in December.
Yeah. No, I know Chelly's going to win best tan. Being in Wichita last weekend didn't help with my tan. I can tell you that, Swishy. But I might be able to get out there. I might be able to get out there this week and maybe if you can't tone it, tan it. But dude, I'm looking forward to Buffalo with you boys. I'm looking forward to coming to your show on Saturday. Dude, what do you guys do? Stuff like that, man. That's next level. And you guys are slinging your own merch and hardest working guys in the business. So I can't wait. I'm going to be fucking good and tuned up by that time that show starts too. Good and tuned up.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, man, we're pumped that you're going to be a part of it. And also, Obes, that Bills game, I am looking forward to that thing. That is going to be unbelievable.
Hey, boys, sometimes good guys get bounces, eh? We've been talking, Swishy, all year that we want Joey B back. Not only is he back, he goes in and dissects the Ravens on Thanksgiving night. And don't look now. They could win the division here if he fucking wins out. I mean, it's like he's going to be slinging it. That guy is like, you talk about guys you play with as hockey players, and he's like, that guy's a hockey player. Joey B, not only is a coxman off the field, he is a fucking football player, man. He can just come out and make it rain. I cannot wait to watch him and Allen go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, you knew he was a competitor too, even last year, dating back to, he didn't even want the news of a side piece being at his place. Like, that's how competitive that guy is. You know what I mean?
You don't want to ruffle the feathers of the bullpen, fella, because, a lot of them think that maybe they're the only ones in there when they realize you got a couple lefties to come out in a tie ball game. It's not going to help the depth of your bullpen, fella. I can understand that. I get that.
Yeah, especially when you got a knuckleball specialist coming in,
You work hard to get that bullpen fucking where it needs to be come playoff time. You don't need loose lips, sinking ships, and questioning your depth of your bullpen down the stretch.
Yeah, at the end of the day, baby, you're a reliever, right?
Yeah.
You're a reliever till you're not, and even when you're not, you still are.
All right, Obes. Well, we'll let you go, brother. Thank you so much for popping by. You're a legend. We will see you boots on the ground Friday on Chippewa Street. I'm looking forward to it, fella. One rocks till we drop.
Can't wait, boys. Anything for you boys. Always love coming on. Keep it going. You boys are killing it.
Appreciate you, fella.
See you this week.
See you, boys.
Folks, that was Shane O'Brien, NHL veteran of over 500 games. Always a good time. He will be joining us along with Scotty Upchin at the Buffalo Show this Saturday at Rec Room. I almost drew a blank there, but
it's crazy. Like, this tour is a decent length, but we're banging out so many cities within like 5 days. I was looking at the calendar. I'm like, well, it's really not that long. It's like a 4 and 7. You know what I mean? Like, we're going city to city, chin to chin, and gonna have a couple of nights out in between. It's gonna test our chins for sure.
The one thing I'm kind of hanging my head on is like, it is improv too, and we've said it before. We don't go in with a script, right?
No.
It's not like it's just not me talking to the crowd or just you talking to the crowd. You can kind of dial up and act and write stuff and do that yourself, but it's just us doing a pod live. It's improv. So there's even more pressure to have a funny show. You know, if we get done with the show at the studio and it's not that great, we're like, it wasn't our best, we'll get them next week.
Yep.
No one's paying for that.
Right.
People are paying for this. So it's kind of a crazy thing that we do that improv. I mean, it just goes to show, and I want to keep it humble, but we are the best show in the entire world, and we hope people appreciate it. And obviously fucking huge that people bought tickets to come see us. So yeah, 4 shows, 1 week pretty much.
Yep. Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
We are middle-aged assholes, but we do put a lot of prep in the sense of wanting to put on a good show for people paying for it. It's not like we just charged for tickets and be like, oh, we're just taking these people money. No, we want to feel that the value of the entertainment level meets the standard of the price of admission. So that's a big thing that we put on ourselves. There's obviously pressure there, but no pressure, no diamond, Bob. You have to lean into it, and it gives me that same feeling of stepping on the ice. So we can't wait to get to our spots. Hopefully Friday night in Buffalo, in all seriousness, can take it relatively easy. And then once that show gets about 3/4 the way done, that's where we can really start tying it on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm going to have to. Oh, my God. There's a absolute dish by Brian Russ, and he finds Sidney Crosby streaking down the middle of the slot, and he just tucks that thing home in the top of the net where Grandpa hides
the perks,
the Playboy magazines, because Grandma's not hot anymore.
So I took Sidney Crosby over 0.5 assists, and he ends up having 2 goals in as many periods. Evgeny Malkin sitting on 1 shot, Erik Karlsson sitting on 1 shot, Couturier still needs a shot. That bet not looking perfect, but still plenty of time to go here as I'm looking at my prize picks bets. Folks, Sidney Crosby getting his 18th of the season. Thank you to Shane O'Brien for popping by the program as always. 11:45 remaining in the second frame if you're just tuning in and back in the action. Sorry, we got a little bit carried away with Obes, but that happens, and that's what happens when you're talking bullpens, folks. It's 2-1 right now in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Christian Dvorak slides that to the front of the net, and Trevor Zegras is able to get his skate on it, but not a stick, and that steers into the corner. Anthony Mantha going to pick up the puck and send it dot to dot to Evgeny Gino Malkin, who gets over the blue line, makes a little bit of a pull-up play, and sends it into the corner as Nick Seeler grabs that puck, snaps one up tape to Trevor Zegras, who gets pushed off, and Evgeny Malkin coming over his own offensive zone blue line with a little bit of a hey, how are you play on Owen Tippett through the triangle as Kevin Hayes makes a turn-up play and finds Chris Letang, who ultimately takes it D to D himself, walking that blue line like a young Johnny Cash. And Evgeny Malkin going to go low to high to Ryan Shea. That play gets broken up, and we are going to have a icing for Philadelphia, you would think, but no icing on the play, and 10:43 remaining as play goes on, and 2-1 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we got a little bit of a cross-state tilt. The Keystone State, the Key Bump Arena, will be there Saturday night.
And we'll also be in Milwaukee. And I want to shout out to Daddy Fat Sack, an OG member of this show, an OG listener. Hell of a username, Daddy Fat Sack. I can't wait for the Milwaukee show, and we've been pretty open about it. We didn't sell the most tickets in Milwaukee, but we took a shot in the dark because, hey, life's about rolling the goddamn fucking dice. That's definitely going to be a smaller crowd, but we are going to let it rip. We might just let everybody up on stage. So we're going to have a good time, and we appreciate you showing up in Milwaukee because that means a lot to us.
Yeah. That's show business, and who knows, we could have a late push of 1,000 people flood the gates of the Comedy Club in Milwaukee. Tickets still available, folks. We are not out of the fight. Go over. If you're in Milwaukee, you're in the greater Madison area, Brookfield, Economowalk, White Folks Bay, Kenosha. If you're in Bayport, if you're in Green Bay, slide down to Milwaukee Thursday night. We are going live from the Chin in Brookfield, Wisconsin. We will be there, folks. Rain, shine, we play all the time, and we're going to bring you the greatest show in the world. Whoever's there, we don't fucking care. It's about the men in the arena. So go buy the tickets. If you're stopping by, you're thinking about stopping by, well, just do it. You won't regret it. And if you do, well, it's only one night of your illustrious life. So 9:45 remaining here in the second frame with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins on a Monday night in the city of brotherly love. Bob Gucci, J Swish, as always, homebuy3.shop, the official shop for your latest merch. Go check it out. All orders are guaranteed by Christmas, and we actually mean that, folks. It was started as a joke because it was two assholes fulfilling shipping and merchandise needs, and now we do have someone doing that for us, Bob. So that's always nice, and like we always say, now it's not our fault, it's someone else's.
Yep, we have the Chinese Taipei Little League World Series team doing all of our merch, and they're doing a great job over there in China for us, so we appreciate that. We appreciate you buying our merch. We have a bunch of pending orders, and really help support the boys. And if you don't want to, there's a save. If you want to support the boys, use code SHIN at freepouch.com for your official non-tobacco nicotine pouches of HB3.
Yep, and as well as FTL bags. I want to give those guys a shout out. Promo code CHIN gets you about $50 off. Great travel bag. Bob Gucci holding his right there. Home by 3 across the top. You can get that thing customized. You can rock it just stock. They do have the dust compartment. They do have the dildo compartment. A great travel bag that you can put a suit in, shoes, toiletry kit, chew, free pouch. Whatever you need. It's a great looking bag, and it travels well. And it also is one of those bags where you can just put right on, your Toomey or whatever you have your roller bag. It just darts right on there. And then, like I said, if you're in group 4 or lower, no one's going to question you. They're not going to make you check a bag. They're going to say, oh my God, that bag is small enough for the oversized compartment. And it's also just an accessory because it's small. And then you get away with 2 bags. That's what I do because I'm an absolute scumbag.
Yep, it's always nice finessing the airport. TSA recently having a ton of layoffs, a ton of delays. Traffic control agents are quitting. It's really a nightmare when it comes to airfare. They're making the seats even smaller, and people are just getting bigger. So why not spruce up your travel and make it a little bit better with an FTL bag when it's already such a hassle to get from point A to point B?
Yeah, and it, like I said, you can pretty much put anything in there that you would put in a backpack. And a little bit more. A suit, you have your chew, you have your dust, you have your dildos, you have your plan B, you have your Xanax. You have everything you need to, travel and travel safely. So FTLbags.com, great gift for dad, brother, side piece, uncle, cousin, affordable, looks good, quality, premium bag. FTLbags.com, promo code CHIN. Back to the game, 6:49 remaining in the second frame as Noel Juleson plays a puck in and an absolute turnover to Brian Russ, and Brian Russ throws that down on a bank play to Sidney Crosby, who is looking and sniffing for a hat trick this season. I believe it would be his first hattie of the season. I'd have to check the Elias Sports Bureau, but off the top of my chin, that makes a lot of sense as Brian Russ tries to shovel a burger into Dan Valdar, and Kevin Hayes was standing right at the blue paint. And this isn't going to be icing, but Connor Clifton is going to round his own net, survey his options, and throw a puck into the middle of the ice and find number 41, who I have no idea. Pittsburgh has a lot of random players on this roster that are young and dumb and full of cum, but I don't really know their names.
Ville Koivunen.
Okay, Koivunen.
They are buzzing tonight, though.
They are.
I mean, they look good. They're possessing the puck well. They're not just getting rid of it. It looks like kind of the Flyers have a little bit of mud in their boots, a little bit of piss in their pants, a little bit of stuffing from turkey. What's your opinion on stuffing?
I will eat it if it's my mom's stuffing. Shout out to Lisa. But people that like mix the gravy and the gizzard and all that weird shit in there, no, I'm out on that.
It's crazy that both of our moms are named Lisa. Shout out to the Lisas in the chat. It's something about just eating bread for me that is a little bit mushy that I can't get over.
Yeah, I will do that. I'm actually recently out on gravy.
Wow. See, I don't agree with that.
Do you know what?
Why?
Do you know what's in gravy?
I don't want to know.
It's all lard,
shit,
fat.
Oh,
it's just like all fat and juice. So I'm out on gravy. I actually replaced it with honey mustard this year. Homemade honey mustard.
Honey mustard.
Yep.
On your taters?
Not necessarily on my mashed potatoes, but on my ham or turkey. Yep.
Okay.
I was putting it on there.
I'm a big butter guy, but that only works for potatoes. You don't put butter on your turkey unless you're a serial killer.
Dude, ever since I knew what was actually in gravy and I saw the process of it, it is disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
Jamie, pull that up. Hold on. I want to
gravy is yeah, man.
Damn it. I'm still gonna eat it, but Actually, I'm probably not going to eat it because I never have a formal Thanksgiving dinner, but I do think it's good.
It's yeah, you think it's good until you see what's in it. People put like the gizzard in the gravy. Now, I think that's totally disgusting. My mom doesn't make it like that, but some people do. They put extra juice from the turkey's ass in there.
I'll put a lot of things in my mouth, but I draw the line at turkey ass.
Turkey ass juice.
Yeah, I don't like ass juice for the most
Called
part.
Asperger's.
It's not really giving me. It looks like there's a ton of different kinds of gravy.
Yeah, there is, but the one like that most people do is you put like a bunch of fat in it. It's just like,
where do you even get the fat?
It's lard. Yeah, it's almost like a butter, or you know what I mean? It kind of looks like a coconut oil paste.
I don't like anything paste. Like I don't like tomato paste. I don't like what's that other one that kind of bothers me? Cranberry paste.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shit that we put in our systems.
There's a lot of weird shit that people eat. That's what people don't really understand. Like there's like a lot of weird shit that we eat.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day and they were killing rabbits and eating rabbits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I don't know if I could do that.
Shannon Sharp grew up eating raccoon.
Yeah, I think they had to though.
Did they?
I think they're poor.
I'd rather eat a squirrel than a raccoon.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm eating a squirrel even.
Raccoon though, dude, one of the most erratic species of living organisms.
Very bipolar. Are they white? Are they black?
It's like a white chick from Laguna Beach.
It's like a zebra.
It's very erratic.
Yep.
You think you have it well. Next thing you know, she's biting your neck or slitting your throat.
Yep. Well, that's because the sun actually cooks those people. That cooks their brains. In Arizona, that's a real thing. I looked it up. That's why people have more. No disrespect, but Arizona is the home of a lot of dumb people with the worst education system in the country. And that's not always their fault, Swish. It's because the sun is actually melting their brain the older they get. So,
yeah, it's like a battery that sits out in the sun.
Yeah, very stupid people. 5:34 remaining in the second period, where the Pittsburgh Penguins have traveled to Philadelphia to play the Flyers. And Pittsburgh looks good tonight, man. Besides that one incident where Lizotte slashed a guy's ball sack in half, it's been a pretty clean game as there's a shot by number 14.
Yep. And, you know, famously their new staff there and Dan Muse. And, you know, people forget Nick Bonino is on the Pittsburgh Penguins staff. He came over and is now coaching there. And Jason Spezza, obviously being the special assistant to Kyle Dubas. So I don't know if that includes getting him a box of Golden Grams and some darts every morning, but Jason Spezza there, they do have surrounded themselves with not only a lot of winners of veteran players, but as well on the staff with Nick Bonino. They've done a solid job here. They have a solid club. They have some younger players pitching in, like we spoke with Obes a little bit earlier. Their veterans are playing it back, and we're going to get a penalty here as there'll be a holding play on Sean Couturier, and Francis Laurent is going to send the captain, the 13-year-odd veteran, to the box as Rick Tocchet has loosened up his tie. It's never a good sign when your coach loosens up his tie before the second period's over. That means he's a little bit stressed out. He needs a breather, and quite frankly, he's on jammer watch.
Yes, and Sean Couturier, who's more than less than on Prize Picks today, was 0.5 for a shot on net. Is he hurt? Is he just not shooting the puck a lot? What's going on with Sean Couturier?
I don't know. So I saw that line and I thought I took it, but I said, you know, this is probably too good to be true, because if your line is at 0.5 shots, you must not be doing something. And I checked his last few games, and, you know, there's a few games where he had 2 and maybe 3, and then a couple where it was just bagels, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where it was just nothing. So I don't know. A lot of times 0.5 shots, I mean, that's almost like a Make-A-Wish like foundation, but nonetheless, we're going to get back to the game here. 4:22 remaining as Sidney Crosby takes the drop pass from Erik Karlsson. He sends it out to Brian Russ, who makes his way down the half wall and ultimately plays a back pass up to number 65. Erik Karlsson, the former Norris Trophy winner, 100-point club defenseman, and Brian Russ.
Oh, my goodness.
And there is my Sidney Crosby assist over.
Very
I think.
nice.
How are you? I believe he got a second assist when he took the puck in over the blue line. Let's check that, folks.
What an
Go ahead.
absolute booger picking shot from Brian Russ, just right up in the far corner. If you're a goalie, there's not much you could do about that. I mean, that's just a great shot. We're going to take a look here. Malkin surveying the area over to Russ, wheels it, and just absolute booger picks. Head up the whole way. Bedard, maybe a little bit screened a little bit. I don't know. But, I mean, that's a hell of a shot.
Post and in. He went post Malone, post Hawaii, which is post and in, post East. Yeah, Brian Rust, when it's all said and done, going to be one of those just unsung, unstung heroes of the last decade for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, he's in that same make and mold as a Chris Kunitz, Pascal Dupuis, probably a better player than Pascal Dupuis. I would say you probably even put him in the same category as a Chris Kunitz, the Hall of Fame of very good. And you just wonder, like, if he plays anywhere else, is he as good of a player? He's definitely a national leaguer, but is he a 25 goal scorer, clutch in the playoffs, playing with Sid? I don't know, because
I don't know.
You have to be good enough to play with a guy like Crosby as well, right?
Definitely, yeah. That's when Obes was on. I was like, Chris Kunitz, but I kind of got cut off. But I didn't mean to say that he was a bad player. I meant that Crosby could play with anybody from Brian Rust to Kunitz to Dupuis to Tim Schaller to Boca Amama to
I mean, you look at Rust's production, like 18 goals, 27, 22, 24, 20, 28, 31. Like, man, his numbers in 660 games, he has 455 points. Like, that's pretty good, fella. I mean, you're clicking at, I'm not a math guy, but almost 0.75, 0.8 points per game.
Yeah.
As a guy making 3 and a hook for the better part of
sick.
5 or 6 years, like, that's a really good player and a really good production value.
Folks, get that chat buzzing. Where are you checking in from? And hey, by the way, guys, we are less than 50 followers away from 9,000 on Home by 3 official Instagram page. If you head on over to Home by 3 official on Instagram, we would appreciate if you throw us a follow. If you're not a fan of this show, we don't really give a fuck if you follow or not. But if you want to keep up to date with all the fucking shit that we're doing, head on over to our Instagram, give us a follow, like and subscribe, because that matters. Apparently, we never tell people to like and subscribe, but that will also help us out. About that time of the night, Swish, where I start to get full blown autistic.
Yeah, it's
commenting on the games.
Well, the thing that people don't realize is our alternate cast versus other people's in-game calls is we do the full game, we do intermission. Might take this intermission off. Actually, we got to film something. But we do the whole time, and we do commercials.
I also recorded twice today for my shit.
Nice.
And I'm sure you were doing something. We are talking nonstop. We will not shut the fuck up. Yeah,
I didn't do anything today. But I'm gonna do probably 3 tomorrow. So
yeah.
That's porn, dude. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop.
You got that double header. Here's a Mick delivery of the game was Brian Rust putting one in the top corner, and that's brought to you by McDonald's. Even though it's a highly cancerous fast food chain that preys on poor people, head over to McDonald's. They're now featuring a 2-for-2 cheeseburger deal.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
It's definitely going to ruin your health.
Yeah, and you're going to blow up like the Michelin Man, but for a going rate of $5.95, you can get 2 cheeseburgers for the same price as 1 at most places. 3:20 remaining, folks, as Christian Dvorak can step into the circle against Sidney Crosby, facing off a veteran of 9-odd years and a veteran of 20-odd years in a tri-state battle and an Eastern Conference bout that means more to people than you would think. People lose family members over this rivalry. People have got divorced simply because they can't find common ground. Are you a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, or do you like the Flyers? I am stuck in my ways, and you know what? I don't want to change for you. Speaking of changes, we'll see if Christian Dvorak comes off the ice, or we're going to still line up with this matchup that Rick Tocchet is elected to go with tonight with Kevin Hayes, Brian Rust, as well as Sidney Crosby playing against Trevor Zegras, Christian Dvorak, and a winger that somehow in my brain I can still not put together. Oh, yeah.
Tippett?
It's Owen Tippett.
Yeah, they got Forrester, Cates, and Konechny, Zegras, Dvorak, and Tippett, Michkov, Couturier, and Bobby Brink, a.k.a. Robert Grink, as you would say, Nikita Grebenkin, Rodrigo Abols. I have no idea who that is, as Crosby's going to take.
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah,
Rodrigo Abols. Sounds like a dude from Venezuela.
Who is that?
Sounds like a dude from Curacao. Did he play in the Little League World Series last year in Williamsport? Sounds like a right fielder on the Curacao team. Rodrigo Abo betting 6, but nonetheless a very good RBI guy. And
20.
Sidney Crosby going to sit for 2 minutes. That was tripping, and I think in any league everyone would agree you can't do that. So we're going to get a live look at the Philadelphia power play. Noah Cates steps in. Travis Konecny, Owen Tippett, Travis Sanheim, the pride of Elkhorn, Manitoba, and Trevor Zegras from Bedford, New York. We are going to get a look at the Philadelphia power play. Now, Rick Tocchet is probably thinking, we need to score here if we have a chance in this game. Yes, the worst lead in hockey is 2 and sometimes 3, but if you're looking at this game right now, we need a little bit of motion. We need some momentum because simply Pittsburgh has lulled our fans to sleep at our home ice, at our home building, as Blake Lizotte picks up the puck, and he's getting a look in here on Travis Sanheim, tries a little bit of a toe in, and a good stick by the Elkhorn, Manitoba native, and Trevor Zegras is going to play that puck back to Sanheim, and we're going to set up for another look in at the power play breakout as Travis Konecny skates through the middle of the ice as he zigs and zags and gets through the box of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we're going to set up this power play now as Travis Sanheim tries a slap clap that does not make its way to the net. And power play number 2 going to go and get on the ice here as number 1's going to change. And Philadelphia, not a whole lot of life at all, if any, tonight. And you can see the concern in Rick Tocchet's tie and face that, there hasn't been a whole lot to cheer for, but it only takes a moment like this, just maybe one to go in the back of the net as Gershkin gets a chance there, and we're going to get, I believe, interference, but I don't know who it's going to be on here, folks. I don't know if it's Christopher Letang or we're going to send the young man out of Belarus to the boxes. 36 might make his way there as Rick Tocchet looks on in just full disgust.
He is pissed.
We might skate 4-on-4 here. I don't really understand the call here. It seemed like the puck was near Chris Letang.
Let's take a look at this here.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can really call this. Okay, it's a broken twig. Dropped it. That's all legal. Oh, that's soft.
I mean, that's not a penalty.
Chris Letang dives at him first, right? So he gets inside position. Letang actually dives at him. He pushed him. He dropped his stick. That's a terrible call by number 6, Francis Laurent, I believe is his name.
That might be the worst call I've ever seen.
That was awful. Emile Andre, that's a terrible call. We're going to have a word with league officials. Next conference call on Monday. It was right in front of his chin too. He just totally missed it. Seemed like a makeup call, but what are you making up? Sidney Crosby was in the box for a legitimate trip, and that was a phantom call. So 4 aside here is Jamie Drysdale plays that puck back into Christian Dvorak, and they're going to set that puck up behind the net. 1:21 remaining here, folks, in the second frame. 4-on-4. Travis Konecny still on the ice in his Bauer 4,500 bucket. Anthony Mantha, who has never been accused of trying too hard, gets a stick on that puck as Parker Wotherspoon surveys his options standing still and able to find a number 18. Again, this Pittsburgh team has like 6 guys.
Is that Connor Dewar? Oh, no, it's Tommy Novak. God damn it.
It's good. It's Tommy Novak who came over from Nashville. Yeah, they got a lot of random.
They do have a lot of random guys.
Dudes on this team, and I don't watch them a ton, so bear with us, folks. Sorry. That's where we're at right now. It's 40 seconds left here as Tommy Novak. That name bar even looks too small to have Novak on it, though.
Look right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why it looks like it says Neil on the back.
So maybe they misspelled it or something. And here's Phil Kindle over to Malkin, who dishes it directly to the other team, and that's going to be cleared away with 20 seconds remaining. Taken ahead by Brian Rust, who puts his barrel down and just barrels into the corner. He's going to drop pass it back to number 65, Errol Carlson, who dishes it over to somebody with their head. Oh, here's Crosby on the rebound. Crosby up to good keep by Carlson. Carlson to Malkin. Malkin fans on it again. Malkin not giving 2 shits on this shift. And I think a whistle was, yep.
That is going to be the end of 2, folks, as there's a little bit of a dust up behind the net. Philadelphia obviously trying to drag the Pittsburgh Penguins into the fight, and Crosby tangled it up with Noah Cates and Sanheim in there. Eric Carlson down from the blue line. Of Evgeny Malkin, who is a bigger lad than most would think, is in the mix with Jamie Drysdale. Sean Couturier in there. Captains in there. Referees, linesmen, and able to break up that scrum, if that's what you want to call it. And we're going to skate to the box here, folks. It's 3-1 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wednesday night, again, we will be in Chicago, Illinois. Zanies, 9:15. Go buy your tickets right now if you haven't. We need everyone in Chicago to show up. We need to look cool. We need to tell people we sell out buildings. And we can only do that with the help of your chins. Homebuy3.shop does have all of our tickets available for the Let It Snow tour. Bob, should we go to commercial break here for the next 20 or?
We're going to be back at the third period, folks. Somebody in the chat was saying, folks, what is your thoughts on the new HBO series about gay hockey players? We're going to put that on standby for now. We will be back for the third period, folks. We have some business to attend to. We're filming a quick commercial for Free Pouch and various other companies such as Dry Yellow. We'll be right back.
Folks, welcome back to the biggest show in Northeast Scottsdale. Bob Gucci, Jay Swish. Just went on the patio and smoked a couple of heaters and called my agent and say, I need more money. But that's neither here nor there because we are here with you watching the Pittsburgh Penguins visiting the Philadelphia Flyers. 8:18 remaining in the final frame. If you're just tuning in with us, thank you for tuning back with us. As a goal is scored by, I believe,
Anthony Mantha.
Celebrating it is Evgeny Malkin. I don't know if he got a stick, skate, or wrench or what he put on that burger that was thrown to the net. But we'll get a look here, Bob, as I believe it's Evgeny Malkin's goal. As
I was completely wrong on that.
We are going to survey the options here. So, okay, Tommy Novak plays that up to Ryan Shea over to Anthony Mantha. I believe it hits Evgeny Malkin's right skate. We're going to see it again. This is another terrible angle courtesy of the NHL Network, who still uses cameras from 1960.
Nice little play by Malkin there. Finally, he had a couple cheeseburgers in the second, but you're allowed to do that when you're a player he is. But that behind the back pass, nice little nifty pass to get that play going. Yeah,
and a great fortuitous bounce, if you will, right off the shin as his chin was tucked, and he used his shin to redirect that into the net. And I don't know why we're going to get a coach's challenge. Maybe it was believed to be goaltender interference. Now,
no,
that's not goaltender interference by my standards, and especially the boys over here at HP3 standards. But you never know in this market. You never know when they send it to Toronto. Sometimes, Bob, I think they just make shit up. I think the guy's drunk and he just decides without even looking at it if he's going to give Malkin the goal or not.
Yeah, at this point, 4-1, who cares, right? If he's anywhere near the crease, you might as well just do it just to delay the game even further and make everybody's life a little bit more miserable. I don't really see much there. Malkin's cheeks are kind of backed right into him, but I think he had a fair shot to play the puck. And
so his skates are on top of the blue paint, right inside the red. Not a ton of body contact. He actually kind of moves out of the way as the shot we see here coming in, and it hits the inside of the shin of Evgeny Malkin. But I don't think in any way he was in Valdar's way of making the save per se. Like, was he interfering him to the point where he couldn't get any glove on that? I guess we'll go to the coach's challenge here with the ref.
Wow. No goal. That's a very... Now, is it because that he's in the paint before the puck gets there? But Dan Vladar makes contact with Malkin's ass cheeks with his glove, and he did not have to do that. But
that's the thing about, I think these goaltending coaches teach this sort of technique now, where anytime there is a guy around you, like, don't even try to make the save. Just try to portray the interference just in case it does go in the back of the net, like we saw there. Was Vladar going to make that save if Evgeny Malkin was, say, 2 or 3 inches north of him? I don't think so, Bob, because it ultimately goes off his shin. It's like he's not going to read the puck going off of Malkin's shin, therefore going to get his glove in the right spot. He might be able to extend his glove out further, but he's not going to be able to read that it's a redirection. That's where I'm like.
Off the shin, yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like off your chin, off your shin.
Speaking of off your chin, wishing well to Charlie McAvoy, who was hit directly in the chin with that puck. Hopefully he's back in time for the Olympics, but that's a tough one, man. I saw the slow-mo of that. I wish I didn't. I mean, obviously, we've seen a lot worse since they decided to put the Kirksey assassination all over Twitter. But seeing that in slow-mo, man, oh, my God, right to his cheek, and his face just collapsed. But he's a tough kid, and hopefully he gets better soon.
Yeah, shout out to Charlie McAvoy, the pride of Long Beach, Long Island, a former BU Terrier, enjoying a illustrious career in Boston as he just had to move down the street to the Garden when he signed his pro contract. So stick taps to you, buddy. Keep the chin tucked yet up as Evgeny Malkin back on the ice. 17:24 remaining here as Pittsburgh got that goal disallowed. As the ball never lies, Bob, and I would say I bet Malkin gets one back because I don't think that was the right call, even though they deemed it goaltender interference. But look for Malkin on a live bet to probably get some sort of bounce in his favor, whether it's an assist or a goal, because usually that type of stuff happens to goal scorers and guys that put up points.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back as Malkin carries in the puck. Head on a swivel, puts it right into the corner for Rucker McFurdy. That's going to go back up to the point here. And there's going to be a whistle on the play. We're going to have a penalty behind the scenes. It's going to be interference. 2 minutes for interference, folks. 16:48 remaining.
Yeah, we're getting a live looking at the Pittsburgh bench as Kevin Hayes has elite visor tilt. It reminds me of Jay Swish and Helsinki, where you just cock that thing straight to the ceiling and hope you don't get one in the eyes, folks, as the young Finn, speaking of Finns, is going to sit for 2 minutes and feel shame as the power play of the Philadelphia Flyers comes back on the ice. Now, if you're Rick Tocchet here, folks, and you're the Flyers, now you just get a very fortunate call where the goal by Evgeny Malkin gets reversed. You end up getting a call in your favor for interference while in your defensive zone. This is where you have to take advantage. This is where you turn a 4-1 game into 3-2. That is the old 3-point swing, folks. You usually only see it in the association, but we're bringing it to the ice tonight, not the hardwood per se. So Philadelphia, if I have one message to you, shoot the fucking puck, try to score here, because you could really luck out. Despite playing like absolute dog shit all night, you score here, Bob. You're in the fucking game where you're almost a field goal away before that goal ultimately got disallowed.
Yeah, and you're back in this thing. Give the good people of the upper deck 300 section something to cheer about. Let them get in the face of somebody wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, just an innocent couple. Pittsburgh Penguins fans in Philadelphia, give the people of Philadelphia a reason to rough them up, because violence in sporting events is always the answer.
Throw first, ask questions later, and then go to Tony Luke's for a Philly cheesesteak before you get a domestic abuse charge. That is a Monday night in South Philly, folks. Again, back to the game here.
Hold on. How was your cheesesteak on Sunday? Or was that Saturday?
It was yesterday.
Was it good?
It was unreal, but I worked out after, and I was burping it up the whole time. I did a cardio workout, and it was the worst decision I've ever made. I actually took 4 Tums before I did it because I knew it was going to come back up. But yeah, I didn't eat after that. It was 4 o'clock. I didn't eat.
I had a disgusting night last night. I ordered out, Trevor's?
Yeah, pizza.
Yeah, I got a personal pizza from Trevor's because I saw a picture of it and it looked good.
How was it?
It was actually really good.
I've heard it's good.
But I also had got this like sopressata, like Italian sandwich. And in my head, I go, I'm going to eat one of these like tomorrow. I'm not going to down both of these. And I funneled both of them.
Fuck, were you high?
No.
Damn, that's a good effort. Wait, how big was the personal pan? Like 14 inches?
That big. I was like 11
12
inches.
So yeah. What, 4 slices?
Yeah, I didn't eat all day though. Yeah, maybe something like that. It was disgusting, that's for sure. 14:56 remaining. It was good though. I didn't realize that place was that good.
The our friend of the show that listens to Home by 3 was at the Falcos, and he gave me my sub, and he said Ace again, so that was huge. Ace called it out.
We got to do a show there.
Yeah, they're down to have us in the back of the kitchen, do some stuff like Guy Fieri, try it. I mean, the amount of people when I post that video walking into the Falcos that actually share it it's a good amount. Like
really?
the Stung Philly is a legitimate thing. I throw it out there for the people, but the Stung cheese is whatever reason it resonates with people. So I think a live looking at like building our own cheesesteak would go hard.
Such a good sandwich too.
Yeah, it was great. They just loaded that thing up. There was a little bit too much cheese for my liking, and I think that's why I was burping it up all. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was burping it up basically 20 minutes ago.
You didn't eat the rest of the day?
No, I ate at 4. That was my only meal, and then I didn't eat the rest of the day. Then I ate today at like 2. I was still full.
That cheesecake is so good. Folks, 14:28 remaining in the third period here as the Pittsburgh Penguins lead the Philadelphia Flyers 3-1. Shots on goal, Philadelphia 18. And here we're going to have a little bit of horseplay going on with Kevin Hayes and Rucker McFurda.
Yeah, 2 guys fornicating and a couple of rookies, I believe, and Andre and Ruder McGordy, who is sporting a neck guard coming up from Wilkes-Barre, where it's mandatory to wear. And I saw a cool thing in Man Jose the other night. They went no bucket, the whole team, and that's illegal, especially with guys not playing before, I believe, the 2018-19 season. 40 G's the fine was for the team. Yeah.
Why did they do that?
No bucket, fella. We'll pay it off.
Because?
We'll pay it. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool. I don't know if Felabrini paid that off or one of the big dogs there, but yeah, that was cool. It's 40 grand. I'm sure that they obviously knew what they were doing, but that was pretty sweet.
What if you do that every home game? So 41 times. You could probably do this in your head. I'm not good at that.
Well, JJ Peterka, who has his definitely didn't play before that season where they grandfather guys in, goes no bucket almost every game. So $5 grand times, if he does it even 41 times, that's what is that?
205.
205,000. He's making 7 in a hook.
He's paying 200 grand just to go no bucket.
He goes no bucket more often than not. So I would say if you're conservatively putting it, he does it 41 times a year. Yeah, you'd be paying 200 grand just to go no bucket.
Now, if the Sharks,
but you're gonna get that back. You're gonna make that back.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a lot more chicks too.
That's what I'm saying.
You got no helmet on and warm-ups.
Right.
You get good pictures for Instagram. If the Sharks did that for 41 home games where they went no bucket and it's a $40,000 fine, it would be $1.64 million.
I just don't know why it's illegal to not wear your helmet if half the guys can do it. I mean, ultimately they want to outlaw it for the entire league, but it's a national league, dude. Like,
but Taylor Hall was skating around warm-ups 500 miles an hour and had that wipeout. Isn't that why they did that?
Pretty much, but that guy's retarded. You know what I mean? Like,
with all due respect,
right? Like, that's your fault because you're buzzing around like a Corvette in East Mesa, dude. Like, that's your problem. Like, don't run it for all the fellas.
Is it an insurance thing with the league? Always look at the money trail.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to take. They call them man games out of players, and obviously managers and owners don't want guys getting hurt in warm-ups, but look at what happens this year, dude. Guys get hurt starting their barbecue. Guys get hurt because they're drinking Opus 1 at Chicago Cut Steakhouse. Guys get hurt tugging. Like Jimmy Snuggerud literally got hurt tugging. Like, he tugs with his left. Everyone knows that.
He got hurt jerking off.
He got hurt jerking off. He's out 6 weeks. He has a fascia issue and a tendon issue because he was tugging too much. So it's like you can get hurt anywhere, dude. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk across the street, get hit by a bus.
Definitely.
That's not because you have a helmet on or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck off.
You can get hurt eating popcorn. I had a kernel stuck so deep in my gums that I was bleeding for like 3 days.
Yeah. You always hear about Dustin Penner got hurt eating pancakes.
Yeah.
Dustin Penner literally got hurt. He hurt his back eating pancakes.
Yeah.
Was he on a steady dose of Percocets?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys get hurt. Not going to name names. Guys get hurt flying around on a bird scooter drunk at 2 a.m. in Bakersfield.
Yep.
That happens all the time.
I play with a guy. Yeah. He got hurt twice on a bird scooter. He also knocked one of his own teeth out on a bar because he was doing an inverted row and was so shit-faced that while he was pulling up on the bar, he smoked his face off it and actually lost a canine tooth.
Yeah, I actually saw him fall on his face in a bar. It was a bar that has a couch and the table, and he fell flat on his face on the table, didn't put his hands out to embrace himself, and was bleeding the rest of the night from his gums. Yep.
Yeah, and that's baseball.
That is ball. Shout out to Scott Hartnell, friend of the show.
Scotty Ferdinand. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what happens, dude. I was, I don't know.
What's the weirdest way you ever got hurt?
I've had some back injuries like that where you get out of bed and you reach too far and all of a sudden, tightens up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually when we were in Winnipeg, a kid was friend with a guy or a kid I played with, and he was telling a funny story because I played with him. He was younger than me, but he was in the system. He played in Chicago and San Antonio. And I remember one night when I got sent down, I was there for like the rest of the year, like February, March, April. And I kind of hang out with this kid in an apartment complex. And I'd never seen this before in my life, but we went over to his place and we hit the bong. And he hits his bong. It was right after the game, no food in our system, whatever, but that's when you get the most faded. So we hit the bong, and before we're going to go out, this guy whacks his own bong. We were in his kitchen, face plants on the floor immediately after. I thought the bong killed him. Now, I had smoked before him, so I'm so faded. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy died.
Yeah, you about to shutter?
So I picked him up and I checked his pulse and he was still breathing. And all of a sudden, like probably 15 seconds later, he snaps out of it. He didn't remember that happened. He passed out so hard and he was that high. He didn't remember. He go, dude,
blacked out.
I go, what the fuck was that? He goes, his eyes are bloodshot. What do you mean? I go, dude, you literally just whacked your head on this tile floor in the kitchen. He goes, no, I didn't. I go, all right, smoke another one.
He went full Justin Gaethje where he just gets knocked out and you're like,
he slept himself. He slept.
You picked him up like Weekend at Bernie style.
It went like this, right for his pulse. And he had no idea that happened. So then I was like, all right, let's just go get some food, dude. You seem fine.
Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bong. But anyways, folks, that was the weirdest injury I've ever seen is a guy literally black himself out from smoking too much dope. 12:45 remaining in the third frame as we're back to the action and home by 3. It gives you stories about the game you can't get anywhere else inside the game. It's Bobby Brink bringing the puck, lugging the mail up the ice as he surveys his options and sends a errant pass across the ice to Cam York, who was not able to connect on that and not able to corral that because it was an absolute shitburger. Whereas Travis Sanheim evades a check and he's over his own blue line in the offensive zone, and they send a puck back. And again, Philadelphia just not connecting on anything tonight, folks. It's like T-Mobile in Cleveland. It just doesn't exist. And they're having a hard time all over the ice tonight. And Rick Tocchet is definitely not happy with his troops to this point, being 50-odd minutes into this game, 3-1 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Monday night action with Bob Gucci, Jay Swish, coverage you can't get anywhere else in the face of this earth. Home by 3.shop, the official shop and merch stand of Home by 3. Bob, we're going to be boots on the ground Wednesday. It's going to come faster than we think, too, because we're literally flying in day of the show. We're going full rock star mode.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully there's no delays. I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be a little bit of snow, but if we miss the show, that is baseball. But
what time do we land on paper there? 2 o'clock?
I don't know.
Okay.
I actually don't know. But we're going to land, check in at the telly, and then pretty much go right to the show, do the show, and then we're out of there to head to the Chin of Milwaukee.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be an up and back. We're actually going to venture there. Kylie Schmaltz going to take her vehicle. Shout out to Keebs and take that from the Chin of the West Loop right up to Milwaukee, day of. I did see there was a little bit of weather even maybe tomorrow in Chicago, so we'll stay with that. But Wednesday looks light on paper, but you never know in the Windy City. So, folks, we will be in Chicago IL Wednesday, 9:15. Go buy the tickets. Go for 1, stay for 2, home by 3. The official show about a show. 10:33 remaining here in the third frame. This has been a long tilt tonight. We're staying with it. Shane O'Brien stopped by earlier, missing curfew. NHL veteran, legend, friend of the show. Thank you, Obi, for tuning in with the boys over here. As Noah Ulson makes a nice savvy play, and I believe that's the first connected pass I've seen in the last at least 10 minutes of this hockey game as Travis Konechny barrels into the end wall right next to the Yingling sign, which is a great Pilsner out of the state of Pennsylvania. The Yinzers, they call them. They funnel Permani Brothers sandwiches and drink Yinglings, the official beer of the Peace Garden State. It's not even the Peace Garden State, but who cares? Just say shit and make it up.
I've never really had a good experience in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's I like Pittsburgh.
I've been to Pittsburgh, but I think I was like 15.
Yeah, so you're speaking more of the Harrisburgs, the Philadelphias,
Yeah, I've just never really had a good experience in Pennsylvania at all. But when I was there, I was playing for a AA hockey team, and we went there and we got shit pumped all 3 games. It was a hell of a showcase. Nobody got any sort of traction toward their career because we were all very bad. And I just remember those yellow bridges and walking over them, and it was cloudy and rainy. And I remember thinking, this city fucking sucks. But the people seem like they're great.
Yep, it's it's going to be cloudy and rainy and maybe a little bit snowy, and you will see those yellow bridges again, and it'll be dark and brown, and but we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time.
We're gonna we're gonna be positive. It actually is a cool city in the summer. I will say that it's a sports town, one of the greatest sports towns I would say in the country. I love the fact that they are all yellow and black too. The jerseys,
black and yellow.
That's sweet.
Shout out to Wiz Khalifa.
Shout out to Mac Miller.
Shout out to Mac Miller, for real.
Shout out to Vince Trocheck.
Shout out to Logan Cooley.
Yeah. Shout out to JT Miller, even though he's from the other side in East Palestine. Who else is from Pittsburgh? Yeah. Who else is from there?
Who's from Pittsburgh, man? Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah, Chiz Khalifa.
Is he actually from Pittsburgh?
Who?
Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah. Yeah, he was born in North Dakota on the Army base.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
And then
knew
he
that.
moved to Pittsburgh. I'm trying to think who else is from Pittsburgh, dude. There's
Roberto
not
Clemente.
Yeah, he played there. I don't know if he's from there.
Like who is from Pittsburgh?
The Burr. I'm trying to think of who is from the Burr. Chat, do you know any other famous people? I think Ben Franklin was from the Burr.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone said Gene Seratone. No way.
Gene Simmons. Jeannie Bouchard's from Pittsburgh.
Is that a tennis player?
Yeah. Yeah, retired.
Mark McGuire's from Pittsburgh?
Really? How about his doctor that was funneling stuff up his butt?
Yeah, it's steroids directly getting pumped into his nipples.
Yeah, Antonio Brown, that's a good call. He's from Pittsburgh. You're
no,
right.
he's not.
No. He's from Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah, he's a Florida boy.
Just outside of Dade County, baby. Yeah,
What's
he's
the latest on him? He's out on bail.
I don't know. I saw you at Thanksgiving the other day. I don't know. It didn't look like he was behind bars like Diddy, but looked like he was enjoying some Thanksgiving.
Speaking of enjoying, Diddy is enjoying prison a lot.
Yeah, Diddy, he had quite literally the full spread. Yeah. Yeah, he's the first guy I've ever seen replace gravy with oil. That was interesting.
He has a boyfriend.
Yeah, he has two. Yeah, he's cleaning up, man.
Like those pictures, he looked so happy in prison.
Oh, dude. I mean, imagine you just be like gay in private, kind of, you know what I mean?
It's just like, yeah, it's like being in prison with a bunch of chicks. It's like I don't even want to leave. Like that's
Yeah.
how Diddy is right now because he likes dudes.
Right. I'm sure he's got, he's paying off all the guards. So he's got a cell phone and a Starlink Wi-Fi connector wherever he is. So he can hammer porn if he strikes out. Like,
Shooting music videos in there.
for sure, dude. Yeah.
He's like the man.
yeah. I mean, like, music video. I mean, that's the least. I mean, he's live streaming every night, I think.
If Diddy
On
didn't
Twitch.
abuse women, like I would argue, like I would debatably say, like, is Diddy the man? But you can't say that because he's a woman abuser.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, he's definitely, he's on an image, trying to revitalize his image through,
Prison.
well, I was going to, butt tucking.
If you can eliminate him beating up chicks from the picture, is Diddy the man?
Yeah. I mean, if you could say that about a lot of people, if OJ didn't kill his wife, he'd be a good dude too. If Ray Lewis didn't kill somebody, he's first ballot Hall of Fame, not second ballot. Like, you don't have to think about it.
Didn't OJ not admit it on his deathbed? Like his I might just be making this up, but his grandkid was like, "Bro, like, did you do it?" And he's like, "No, stop asking me." And then he died.
Yeah. Yeah. He took that one to the grave.
That's crazy.
Well, I think
maybe he didn't do it.
No, I think you tell yourself that story so many times where you start to believe your own words. You know what I mean?
If I was about to croak in the emergency room or wherever he died at, and I did it, I would just be like, I did it, because it's more of a flex that you got away with it.
Yeah, he timed that perfectly, man. There was a lot of stuff going on in that time.
What the fuck, dude? That guy had a crazy life. He just did a random 9-year stint in prison. He was on the kickball team in prison, batting cleanup in kickball, and then he got out, and then he was like, prison wasn't even that bad. Depends who you are, man.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, the reason why he went to jail too, and it was crazy for that long, is because he basically robbed someone at gunpoint for merchandise they were selling that he signed.
Yeah,
Like, dude, this
that's the
doesn't.
story, yeah.
Like, you imagine how high you have to be to think that belongs to you. Like, you have to be an absolute moron.
Didn't he say that they stole it from him and then he was trying to steal it back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, OJ Simpson, what an absolute character.
Yeah, he's
Like,
something.
You got
juice.
Why is Diddy in prison again? Besides the just having parties with.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
But they said he wasn't trafficking. They said everyone got an invitation. They RSVP'd. Like everyone was willing to be there.
Yeah,
right?
I think they were able to indict him on some other loopholes within that. Now I don't know. I don't pretend to be a lawyer, but I think that was it.
He's definitely in there for a reason. Like, he's not a good guy.
No, I
Can't
don't
say he's a good guy, right?
No, I don't. I don't think he. I mean, but some might say he's a good guy. Like,
nah, you can't be
Bad Boy Entertainment. I mean, LeBron loved his parties.
Yeah, but it just seals the deal for me when footage comes out and you're stomping on a chick's head in the hallway.
Yeah.
of a Weston and your towel doesn't even fall off. I always talk about this. I'm borderline obsessed with it. He's beating the crap out of a chick with just the towel on, and the towel doesn't even fall off. That's how good he is at abuse. And like, I can't even brush my teeth without my towel falling off.
Yeah, that's good form. I mean, that's a great knot. I don't know where he sealed it. I don't know if it was below the belly button. I couldn't really see, but yeah,
I think it was just below his. I think it was above his belly button.
Yeah, so if you seal above the belly button, generally it holds a little bit tighter. Especially if you have some love handles there too.
Yeah, he does.
Which is what Diddy had. But anyways, Malkin, yeah, he's been playing well.
6:25 remaining in the third period. Pittsburgh Penguins are on the power play with 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we got 6:18 remaining as Evgeny Gino Malkin sends a seeing eye shot to the front of the net, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are on a 5-on-4 power play opportunity. Great slip plate by Chris Letang and Tommy Novak, and a little hey, how are you? That's going to be 4-1. I'm going to check my prize picks bet here, folks. My people's parlay of the night. I don't think it's going to hit.
I hit both of mine somehow.
Somehow Sidney Crosby. Okay, I got one cooking right now that everyone's hit but Mark Scheifele over there in Buffalo in that game. And Kenny Malkin has hit. Couturier still no shots on net. Crosby, I need him to have an assist. So that will probably not happen unless Philadelphia scores. Crosby gets an empty netter, but Tommy Snovak from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Somerset, Wisconsin, somewhere in and around that area. It's his third goal of the season. A Wisconsin product that ultimately chose the University of Minnesota to go to, and has enjoyed a solid campaign to start his pro career. I believe he's a 5 or 6 year pro now. Came up through the ranks of the American Hockey League, the Always Hungry League, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And great shot there. Great slip play by Chris Letang to evade pressure, find the middle. And a quick shot by Tommy Novak. Far side cheddar is always better. The Philadelphia Flyers just skating like they ate too much 3 days ago. It's not pretty out here for Rick Tockett's club. 24 shots on net, but not a ton of grade A looks, Bob. And sometimes you just got to get out of one and maybe just get back to your couch and chalk it up to a cold gray Monday in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's just a loss, right? You'll bounce back. Sometimes you just got to throw in the towel here, and it looks like that's what they're doing. We got a question from the chat. So, did you ever play against Sid and Gino?
No, I think I was scratched both times. I maybe saw Pittsburgh, maybe 3. Yeah, I don't think I got a game against them. I remember just watching them in the stands. No, I don't think I played against them. I think that was maybe one of the only teams I didn't play against.
Daddy Fatzak said sometimes you just gotta throw one over your shoulder and call it a night.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta come. I don't know what to tell you, folks.
Yeah, if you're the Flyers, it's kind of like, I wonder if there's anyone on that team who's like, come on, guys, we could still win. I think there's no way.
No chance. You're down 4-1. There's 5 minutes left. You're just get me out of this game without another minus. Is the train of thought there. And then there's the forwards at that end will probably be like sniffing, trying to find like some meaningless goal. But yeah,
trying not to get hurt.
The D end's just like, Jesus, let's just get out of here.
Just chipping it out.
Yeah, like I'm gonna take a 30-second shift, not a 20-second shift, because then I'll get called out in video like I quit on the team. But I'll take a 31-second shift, and then I'll hopefully get out of this game. And like if you're on that D end in particular, you're looking at 5 minutes. You got 3 sets of D. You're like, all right, I got hopefully only 2 shifts left, and if I time it perfectly, I only have 2. But I really don't want that graveyard shift to end the game.
Yeah, no,
like fuck that.
I remember in club hockey a couple times, like we would be in California doing the California swing, and I would just be so happy when that clock was running and I was on the bench. I was like, get me the fuck out of this game.
For sure.
Like, I just don't care. None of this matters at all.
No. Yeah, there's plenty of those games, man. They're just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I told this on the pod before, but we were like 25-1 was our record.
Yeah. And
we got disqualified from going to nationals because a guy took it upon himself to play in the Federal League over Christmas.
No way.
So
get some reps.
So yeah, so he technically played professional hockey. they disqualified us from nationals, which were in Ohio. What did we do? Because we had the whole week off now. We went to Cabo.
Yep.
That was my first time in Cabo, and it only happened because.
And how pumped was everyone?
Oh, dude, my friend group were fucking so happy. But there was another
the last thing you wanted to do was go to Dayton, Ohio.
No, but our team was very. It was kind of cliquey, but there was kids that were really fucking mad, especially the seniors.
Yeah,
and I get it. I get it. But for us, we were freshmen. Where it's like fucking hell yeah, we get to go to Cabo now.
Yeah, some of those guys that played on that team that you've described seemed just they were taking a little bit too seriously, and you'd hope that this time, by the time they're 35, they could admit that.
Yeah, we were taking some of them probably won't, but
really,
how yeah,
Jesus,
but how are you not aware that if you're playing club hockey in college, that you probably shouldn't play a professionally sanctioned game in the Fed? Now, is the Fed a glorified, league for retards where you're making $6 a game? Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you not know that? That's like
were guys like just so mad at that individual?
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Well, there's
my God. Is that the Crosby? Is that the Crosby assist?
You need that apple.
Let's check it, fella.
He was one of the assistant captains, Swish.
Really? So, yeah. But were those guys the nut chuggers pissed?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, dude, he kind of never recovered.
Was that Crosby
from that?
Did he get an assist?
You got Tanger and Tanger. Oh wow, what a pass! Holy shit! No, I don't think he did unless he sent it. Damn it! Unless he rimmed it around.
I thought he played like a little bit of a back play to him.
What a fucking stretch pass!
That was Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch passes always got me going. When I used to comment on hockey way more than I do now, it's like,
God damn it! No, he didn't, dude.
Maybe an empty netter. They pulled their goalie 5-1. That was so rock star.
That's Crosby's last shift too. That was that was close. That, you know what? Betting parlays and fishing are the same thing. The one that got away, it's always that one that doesn't hit for your big number. Like that would have been a big parlay, but it's just like that muskie that was on your line that you talk about that nobody cares about because you didn't catch it or get a pitcher. Mm-hmm. But it's just like you saw it and it got off your line. That is parlays.
And it's crazy because it's Crosby. And I have a similar thing. The other night I had a 6-legger, and the only guy, there was so much ridiculous shit on this parlay. Yep. The only guy that didn't hit was McDavid.
Yeah. See,
out of all guys.
See, like my Crosby over tonight was just 1 assist. I figured they're in a piss pound Philadelphia. He always plays well. And it's like Sid always gets assists, right? Mm-hmm. Guy comes out and tucks 2 goals. That's baseball, dude. I mean, you just got to keep betting and keep gambling and keep chewing and just keep doing everything, man. Keep yourself
keep buying FDL bags.
Yeah, just buy shit that we promote. Free pouch, freepouch.com, promo code Chin. Price Picks. It's good to be right. It's great to be fucking right, I say.
Yeah, and even if you're wrong, there's another chance to be right the next day.
Yep. Yeah, you can always see. The thing is more often than not, you're going to be right because you just keep playing. You keep sniffing. 5-1 right now, folks, remaining in this game. 3:20 remaining, and 5-1. And Sidney Crosby his night's going to be over. And pretty soon, the home by 3 night is going to be over. Folks, we're going to be live on the airwaves tomorrow again, right on your chin in the morning, bringing you coverage you can't get anywhere else. Be a live pod, back to the normal schedule. I'm sure we'll be talking about a ton of hockey. The Great Wall. I don't know. Maybe we slide over to another history case or whatever we got here is a 2-on-1 develops.
Oh my, Dakota fanning.
That is a young player right there. Like that's an American League play. You fan on a shot on a 2-on-1. That's how I know you're like, yeah, you're in the NHL, but you still have some American League habits that you just gotta get out of your game.
I want to take this question because we've answered this before though. What was your worst injury while playing?
Yeah, no broken bones. Just had that bad concussion in Switzerland that ultimately took me a little time to rehab, about 7 months maybe, but got back stateside and I was fine because I went to the right rehab facility.
I had an ankle surgery, but it was something that hockey didn't help it, but it was kind of something I was dealing with off the ice. And then just getting cross-checked in my arm and snapping it was probably the worst one.
Yeah, that's not perfect.
Yeah, especially when you're playing meaningless Bantam AA hockey, Bantam major. It might have been midget minor. and the rink is on not Coney Island, some shithole rink in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it might have been on Coney Island. Is there a rink on Coney Island? No,
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, Coney Island's in Brooklyn, South. Yeah,
it was Coney Island.
I've been to Coney Island.
I had to stand. Yeah, I had to stand up in the emergency room, holding my arm up and half my gitch because the homeless people steal the wheelchairs there. So they didn't have a wheelchair for me, and then I had to sleep sitting up for like the next, I don't know what it was, like 4 or 5 weeks. It was a nightmare.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's not
huge
perfect.
cast, man. My cast went from like my trap all the way down to my wrist, and it was just sucked.
Talk to my accountant. Huge ass. 1:30 remaining here, folks, as we are the biggest show in the world, home by 3.shop. Again, Zany, Chicago, Wednesday, 9:15, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go buy the tickets if you're in Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin. That'll be Thursday. Saturday, Buffalo, New York. Chippewa Street. Shout out to Mothers. Shout out to the Just Dishing boys. They're going to be in the mix.
Oh, fuck. I got it.
And then we are going to be in Pittsburgh, PA, December the 10th, a week from Wednesday, right on the guts of the Steel City. Pittsburgh, the Penguins play that night before, and we're going to be in Pittsburgh, so we might pop out to that game. Working on a few different things that way. There's no chance that team lets us do any sort of content with them, but I'm going to email them, and I'm going to see what they say, and once they get back to me and get it cleared by Kyle Dubas, you're just going to say, that guy not only let me down when I traded for him, but he chirps me constantly. So can't imagine they're going to say yes to that, Bob, but nonetheless, we might be at the game. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be cool. 124 remaining in this 5-1 hockey game here. And like Swish said, we're going to be back on the airwaves tomorrow morning early. Get that fucking chat buzzing. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to throw up the brand new like and subscribe button. That looks like shit, but we're going to put it right there. And we also got the Happy Chinsgiving episode out. If you missed that because you were involved in the family holiday festivities. And then we got the valet skit out. That's a full YouTube video called Valet Guys. And we appreciate it if you guys would head over there and give us a watch. We are on Instagram at HomeBy3 Official. And we're almost at 9,000 followers. And we got a question in the chat. Swish, how did you get to know OB? That guy is all time.
Who?
How did you get to know OB?
Yeah. I mean, I played with Uppy, and that's his running mate and his guy that used to sniff around Hollywood all the time. I don't really know how Boko Imama with the post. I think just through those guys, man, mutual friends. I think once I got into the content space, I was obviously a fan of him on Missing Curfew, and then he just reached out to me one balmy day in August and said, you want to be a part of the show? I said, fella, yeah, let's do it. But previously we'd went on Missing Curfew, the Waste Management, both of our chins were on there, and I knew this guy was an absolute beauty. Everything checked out when he sent us a Sprinter van to pick us up to go to the Waste Management, and we were at a offsite place about 5 minutes away, and he's like still insisted, like, oh no, boys, you got to get in the Sprinter. So yeah, that was kind of like the first official hang, I guess, with those guys.
We're getting absolutely hammered on email by somebody that said that you have young kids spending their hard-earned money to support you, and to not respond is truly unacceptable. But they wrote the email at today. What do you mean? I'm gonna respond. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Give an order from. They're just basically calling us pieces of shit. Please be professional. Treat your customers with respect, and they will keep coming back. Well, actually, they do keep coming back. And if you listen to the show, we are literally trying our hardest. So thanks for the fucking mean email.
Yeah. Was that from a woman or a dude?
Guess.
Check. Yeah, it's we're trying our best, and it's two guys over here, and
who's the fucking order? I'm gonna look it up right now.
I don't know. I mean, hate doesn't solve anything. I know that for certain. And yeah, I guess keep your chin tucked, and we'll try to do better. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's been moments in your life where you haven't done things the right way, and I
didn't mean to not respond. I just didn't see it. Like,
Yeah.
try to do the right thing to everybody. We're not trying to fuck anyone over here. Like, we've been fucked over a million times. We're not going to do the same to other people, but at some point,
well, folks, you know what? We are just going to have to try to do better and just wake up tomorrow and just do our best, because that's all you can do in this life, folks. I appreciate all of the Home by Three faithful for not only tuning in with us, encouraging words on the live chat, as well as, you know, asking general questions that you are curious about, and ultimately supporting us with our merchandise. Sometimes, you know, you get held to a standard someone else needs you to be at. Thanks for the wise words, and I guess that'll conclude this Altcast. Folks, again, homeby3.shop is the official merchandise site of Home by Three. Go check it out. Again, Cyber Monday running out here and running out of time, but 25% off select items, new items on our website, homeby3.shop, for all of our tickets too for our tours. Again, Toronto, Ottawa sold out, Montreal going quick. And this week, we'll be all over the place, starting at Zany's in Chicago. Go buy the tickets. Please show up, and we will do our best. Back on the airwaves tomorrow, Bob Gucci, Jay Swish, 93.1. Until next time, thank you, folks. Again, we love you out there. Woo!
we out of here, folks.